It's time for Hutto Hippos football. Tonight, the Hippos face the Round Rock Dragons in the annual Pink Out game. The Hippos come into tonight with a 2-1 record and a 1-0 district record after defeating the McNeil Mavericks 35-7 in the Hippos' first ever 6A district game. Last week, the Hippos' defense played like a brick wall as the Mavericks struggled to get any offense going. The Hippos forced 6 turnovers and held McNeil to -17 rushing yards, which was led by TCU commit Landon Watson and Braylon Suggs. The Hippos' offense continued their upward trend with their best performance of the season. The Hippos' offense was led by quarterback Grayson Doggett, running back Cyron Miller, and wide receivers Damian Jones and Jay Lambert. Last week, the Hippos had a few missed opportunities to make bigger plays and finish drives off once they got into the red zone. So the Hippos look to improve their execution deep in their opponent's territory. The Round Rock Dragons come into tonight with a 1-2 record and an 0-1 district record. But don't let the record fool you, because all 3 games the Dragons have played have been within 4 points or less. Last week, the Dragons lost 35-31 to San Antonio Cornerstone Christian. Their one district loss was to Cedar Ridge 2 weeks ago by a score of 20-18, and their win was to Belton 35-33. The Dragons' offense is led by quarterback Seth Ford, who is committed to UTPB, and their speedy running back, Israel Morgan. The Dragons also have a stacked offensive line, which will make it tough for the Hippos to get stops in the backfield. They have a pair of defensive backs who will wreak havoc on offenses. The Hippos look to keep their winning ways tonight in what should be a great battle. Thank you for joining us on the SHN Sports Network. Now, live from Hutto Memorial Stadium are the voices of the Hippos. Sideline commentator Bryce Doggett, color commentator Ryan Robinson, and play-by-play man Todd Robinson. Gentlemen, it's a great night for some football. Take it away.
Well, thank you, Gage. Yes, it is a great night for football. If you could take away the wind, the cold wind, we've had beautiful weather all season so far. And tell you what, the cold front that was blowing through North Texas and all that early this morning has arrived in Hutto, and it's a chilly, very gusty night. And it's one of these games. I was talking to Coach LaPlante before the game, and I said this is one of those games that it's a wind factor game that. The wind really could come into play in this one, certainly with field position, with punting, kicking, those kinds of things, certainly throwing the game. And for a team like Round Rock, who runs the ball probably 80% of the time, conditions like this tend to favor a team like that. Now, flip side of that, if you're a Hippos team that can grab a lead on this Round Rock team and force them out of their running game and to throw, then certainly – they don't throw a lot without wind, and throwing into or even with a strong 15, 20-mile-an-hour wind is going to be tough for them. So, but Ryan, I think this one's a game that certainly we're going to have to focus on defenses. The Round Rock Dragons come in 1-2, but as Gage pointed out, their 2 losses very close, including a 2-point loss to Cedar Ridge, and they do it on the ground, and they do it mostly with Seth Ford, their quarterback, and Israel Morgan, who averages about 175 yards rushing per game through their first 3 ball games.
Yeah, the 2 of them combined for about 65% of their total offense, whether it's through the air with Seth Ford or, like you said, on the ground with the 2 of them. And I feel like we've mentioned this a lot this year, but we got 2 big backs again. They are not small guys, and look for maybe someone like Brody Bueno to kind of shadow Seth Ford all night and just go where he goes, being one of those quarterbacks that likes to run, and obviously a bigger guy, a bigger body, very similar body type to Brody, and And at that middle linebacker position, you might think that he's maybe going to just kind of spy him all night and just be his shadow.
Well, I was talking to defensive coordinator Adam Harvey on the field before the game and just said, hey, you guys have anything special planned? And he said, well, basically we're keying on number 10, quarterback Seth Ford, and 22, Israel Morgan. He said, number 6, Mason Schuler, a little receiver for them, said he's one of those guys that we need to really kind of disrupt early on and make sure we take him out of the game. But it's going to be interesting. I think games like this, often the tone can be set early, even with the first kickoff, depending on how field position goes, depending on who has the wind. And Bryce, I know up here, we kind of built ourselves a little camp, and we have a tarp that's blocking the wind, but you're bundled up down there like it's a snow game.
Hey, it is cold down here. Little bit breezy, and the wind's going to play a huge factor. I think, looking at stats, obviously, Russian stat will go to Round Rock, but I think Miller will get it going tonight, and I think Grayson, he'll figure it out throwing into the wind or with the wind,
sure.
And we'll have our passes completed.
Well, and one thing about having that wind at your back is sometimes it does kind of help you open up that offense. Obviously, you can get that ball down the field more. You can throw the deep ball even deeper, and sometimes that allows for that running game to open up more and give you more lanes to run in.
Well, I saw a few punts go backwards, and
Yeah.
So it's going to be a huge effect in the kicking game.
Well, we've seen even in good conditions, we've seen some punts not be real effective early in the year. So, if we're forced to punt into the wind, we could run into some difficulties here. Round Rock or Hutto won the toss and deferred, so Round Rock's going to receive, and Hippos are going to get to kick with this big wind at their back. So it was one of those. We've talked a lot about our kicking game, our kickoff game, and how we've kind of perfected that. Pinning a team with that little high pooch kick, but kind of wonder when we get this one ready to kick off if he'll let him try to boot it out of the end zone with that big wind at the back.
Well, watching them pregame and watching them try to kick it through the back of the end zone, we didn't see a whole lot, even with their wind at the back. With the wind at their backs, we didn't see a lot going out of the back of the end zone. So, and sometimes it's better just to put them at maybe the 3 or the 5 yard line and force them to return something. And obviously, so few returns these days that's something teams don't practice as much.
Well, and the pooch kick, even with this wind blowing, could be hard to field. We're going to pause for just a moment while the Hippo Band performs the national anthem here on Pink Out Night.
Cancer awareness. Let's have a moment of silence for the family members who have lost loved ones to this disease and to those who are still in the fight. And now the Hutto High School Marching Band in the playing of our national anthem.
Another great job by the Hutto Band performing the national anthem, and we've mentioned it the first couple of weeks of the season, and the band obviously impacted by COVID, like a lot of things, not being able to bring out their full band. We've had seems like about a third of the band each of the first couple of home games, and a third of the Hutto Band is still fairly
Still
large.
a pretty big band, yep.
I tell you, looking across the field, it looks like Round Rock has 2 of Hutto's teams.
I know.
I mean, they've got
Well,
and I guess being the biggest, they are the biggest 6A school in the
Right.
area, so it definitely shows in numbers.
yeah, they Ryan was looking. I do my roster sheets up, that kind of for play-by-play calling, and I usually fit both teams on, or each team has 2 sheets basically, and Round Rock's overflowing off of the second sheet. So yeah, they've got. I mean, they go all the way up to number 99, and they don't skip a whole lot along the way. So a lot of kids, a lot of big kids, and Bryce, I don't know if you heard Mark Aspinall, our PA guy, say a while ago that I guess he's accurate about this. He said this is the first time Hutto and Round Rock have played each other since 1940 something.
That's pretty crazy, and probably about the same size back then. You would think. But
well, we finally caught back up to him. Well,
he
not
did
quite
say,
actually.
He said Hutto won it first.
I was going to say, I'm not
read
sure
it.
how accurate the information is.
I think he came back with a correction.
We'll
Oh, no.
assume it's right.
Yeah, I think he came back and corrected that and said Round Rock won. But yeah, all the way back in 1940 something.
Well, he
of
said it
course,
was 9-6, right? Is that what he said?
I'm not sure.
Something like that.
But yeah, nonetheless, back then both schools were small. Certainly Round Rock grew and got big. Hutto stayed small until the last few years when Hutto all of a sudden exploded. And even though Hutto's now a big 6A school, we're still don't have quite the numbers that Round Rock does. Well, we are just about set to go here, and this is we've talked about the wind and all that. This is a pivotal game for both schools too, because the Hippos sitting at 1-0 in district play after that win over McNeil last week. They would love nothing more than to go 2-0 in District 25 6A, and these are 2 of the teams that probably are going to be battling for the 3rd and 4th playoff spots.
Right.
You kind of figure Vandergrift, Vista Ridge are kind of favored up there, and but there's a few teams that are battling for those other 2 spots, and these are 2 of them for sure.
Tell you, I thought Vista Ridge would give Vandergrift a little better game last
that
week,
was
but
very
obviously
surprising.
Vandergrift's defense is once again really good.
Absolutely. Hippo's defense was good last week too. Had 6 turnovers. I told Adam Harvey before the game it'd be nice to repeat that performance.
6 turnovers and negative 16 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I don't see that very often.
Well, here is that kickoff, and we do kick it deep. Going to be fielded about the 3-yard line, like you said, Ryan, out to the 10. A little bit of room across the 20, up around the 25, 26-yard line, kind of about where it normally is under whether it's a pooch kick or a deep kick.
It's amazing how that happens.
Talking to my brother-in-law, Brody Buono's dad, he watched quite a bit of film with Brody on their offense this week and said they're pretty capable of putting it on the ground, the running back. So that's something to look for tonight. And
be nice to have
get
that happen
ball
early.
on the ground and get it.
Seth Ford's their quarterback. 22 Israel Morgan, the running back that averages 175 yards per game. Handoff right off the bat, and this one could go all the way to the 2015-10-5 touchdown. And boy, tell you what, the Dragons spring a big surprise. That was
there's 75
Travion McCoy Gay. That wasn't Israel Morgan. That was number 14.
Yeah, I don't think we touched him.
I don't think we did either.
I think we were so keyed probably on Israel Morgan that Travion McCoy Gay takes the ball right up the middle and goes 74 yards off the bat for the Round Rock touchdown, and that's not the way you want to start if you're the Hippos.
That's about the exact opposite of how you want to start. Wow.
Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 11:42 to go in the first quarter. I mean, one play, one score. And, yeah, I looked at a number of their players, and Travion McCoy Gay wasn't even a kid who, let's see, coming into this one, he had 2 carries for 8 yards on the season. So he now has 3 carries for
that'll boost the average a little bit.
80-something yards.
Average is way up.
So, wow. That was a shocker. Wasn't really even on our radar.
Wow.
Well, negates the whole potential wind advantage, although now they have to kick off into the wind. So we got that going for us.
Going to that back to that extra point. you kind of have to wait until that ball hits the ground before you can say it's good. That thing got out through the uprights and started coming backwards.
Yeah, I tell you, you really need to watch this kickoff. I think our deep men are way too deep.
Yeah. Well, and this is another situation where sometimes, just like I was saying, that ball starts going backwards, and that's tough to catch. You don't practice a ball coming backwards at you very often, so
that's true.
It's a different feel, so you got to be careful when you catch this.
Their kicker's also their quarterback.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before the game. Kind of strange, but
kind of a do-it-all.
He's a good-sized kid.
I agree with you. I'm not sure why we have guys all the way back at the 5-yard line into this wind, but it's going to hang up and be fielded at the 20-yard line, fumbled and taken a knee.
He did fair catch it.
Did he?
He did, but
I'm not
he didn't catch it cleanly.
Yep, so they're going to start at the 18.
Yeah.
Well, the old field position game doesn't really work out for the Hippos early on. It did big time the last week against McNeil. Hippos owned field position. So the Hippos will come out instantly down 7-0, only 18 seconds into the ball game. Grayson Doggett has Kyron Miller in the backfield, has 2 receivers right and 2 receivers left side. And a strong wind at his back. Snap back, Grayson with a straight drop, gets some pressure. Now he's flushed to his right, throws it, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for number 17, Damian Jones, on a little comeback route.
Oh, and then there's that connection that they were struggling with so much last week. You know, Grayson to Damian had a couple low balls, a couple drop balls, and this one was caught just too far out of bounds.
2nd down and 10 for the Hippos at their own 18-yard line in an early hold down 7-0. Handoff goes to Kyron Miller, plows forward across the 20 up near the 21-yard line. Pick up about 4 yards on the play. Set up a 3rd down and 6 needed for the Hippos on their first possession of the ball game.
Yeah, Round Rock pretty big up front. That 3-man line, they got some big boys.
Well, we were all standing down there before the game and saw how big their quarterback is. And I'm like, if their quarterback's that big, their line's certainly big. Grayson takes a snap, straight drop, over the middle, pass intended for number 5, Gary Choice. Little too high, and so the Hippos will have to punt, a 3-and-out.
Yeah, he was pretty well covered there. And the second time that Round Rock, they're coming with that 5-man box, you know, so they're daring us to pass the ball. And then it's the second time that they've come with 2 men off the outside and kind of overloaded our pass protection. And first time forced Grayson to rush out to his right. Second time forced him to get the ball out quick. Probably not the decision that he was wanting to make, just had to get rid of it.
Need a big kick.
Yeah,
here.
Brody Bueno back to punt. High snap, and Brody's not going to be able to corral that one. Falls into the end zone, and the Round Rock Dragons fall on it for a touchdown. Well, boy, just an awful start for the Hippos right here. We're only, 4 minutes and 8 seconds into this game, and the Hippos find themselves in a big hole already. You know, you kind of wonder when you're deep snapping and you got that big strong wind blowing against you, probably give it a little extra push and do it
well, that thing just sailed on him, and if it goes over Brody's head, it's a high snap.
I could speak firsthand. Having deep snapped, nobody thinks about snapping into the wind.
Snap back, hold down, kick up good. So 10:52 to go in the first quarter, and it's already Round Rock 14, Hutto nothing. Listen to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
Is a longtime supporter of Hutto ISD. Earn cash back and support Hippo Nation with the student-designed A-plus FCU Hutto ISD Hippo debit card. When you use your Hippo debit card, you and Hutto ISD both earn up to 10 cents with every purchase. Hutto ISD has received over $71,000 in cash back from A-plus FCU members since August 2016. Stop by the Hutto branch on Ed Schmidt Boulevard to get your card and start earning today. Membership required. Insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to Hutto Memorial Stadium on Pink Out Night, and the Hippos, boy, I tell you, Bryce, they got to be shell-shocked here. You know, you give up the very first play of the football game, Round Rock runs it for a 74-yard touchdown, and then Hippos go 3-and-out, and the snap goes over the punter's head into the end zone, recovered by Round Rock for a touchdown, and all of a sudden you look up and You got the wind at your back, and you're down 14-0.
Yeah, and you know Hutto's been slow starting all year, and boy, but just not this slow. They've got to do something here, or it could get to be a long night.
Well, and Brad's message before the game, he said the theme tonight was emerge. He wanted them to come out fast, and I think they've done the opposite of that so far.
There's a ball fielded. I thought he fair caught that. Didn't. Run out of bounds at the 20.
I don't know how you fair catch one that's bouncing.
It looked like he was waving his arms.
He was trying.
So fielded and run out of bounds. So the Hippos will start at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you, Ron, if you're, on that punt snap, if you're gonna miss, let's miss low.
Miss low.
Well,
you got a baseball player back there.
Hey, it brings me back to when I remember snapping one over Hayden's head. I was snapping it into the wind. Like I said, nobody thinks about the snapper when you're punting with the wind, but you got to snap it back there against the wind.
Yeah, it just sailed.
Handoff goes to Kyron Miller. Plows forward to the 30-yard line. Nice hard run by Kyron, as we've gotten used to. Pickup of 3, second down, and 7 yards needed for the Hippos. 10:30 to go in the first quarter, already down 14-0 after a couple of big Round Rock plays. Miscue by the Hippos and big play by the Dragons. All the receivers split left. Heavy pressure on Grayson. Throwing over the middle. It is caught at the 45-yard line. Gary Choice hauls it in.
Boy, he was wide open, too. He had gotten behind every single Dragon defender there.
First and 10 for the Hippos at the 47-yard line. Handoff to Kyron Miller. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, if Grayson had a little air under, hit him on stride, he'd be in the end zone right now.
Yeah, you wonder, sometimes when you have this strong a wind at your back, you wonder if a quarterback tries to take a little bit off of it because he doesn't want to sail it too far.
Yeah, you'd rather just have that completion when he's wide open and let him slow down and catch it.
Of course. Second down and 10 for the Hippos at the 47-yard line in Dragon territory. Heavy pressure on Doggett. Lets it fly. Right side. That one looked like it just kind of slipped out of Grayson's hand when he let it go.
Yeah, and Grayson he didn't look very happy after that throw. He's kind of yelling over there to his receivers. I think, they've just been having so much trouble with communication all year, and he was saying after the play, I think he was trying to get them to run a different route than what was run.
So third down. Chains say second down. It should be third down, shouldn't it?
Yeah, we had that run stopped, I think.
Yeah, this bottom judge says.
Yeah, third down. Trying to set up a screen over on that far left side. Gary Choice dropped it. I tell you, he had number 4, Davion Finch, closing in on him fast. So,
yeah, you had a screen set up, but nobody out there to block.
Well, so Hippos get one big offensive play, but then turns into a punt situation again. Good news is you're punting from your own 40 this time or Brody's standing at his own 40 instead of standing at the goal line. I want to just try to kick this one as far as you can.
Yeah, just careful not to put it out of bounds.
That time end over end, going to kick at the 15-yard line. Fielded.
Well covered.
Tell you, pretty brave to field that ball. Theo Anderson made the tackle.
Yeah, I kept thinking he was going to either fair catch or let that one go with 3 Hippo defenders right in his face, and he decided he was going to catch it. And I guess good for him for holding on to that. And
yeah, I think he was kind of waiting to see if it was going to take a hard bounce, or in that case, it bounced straight up. So.
Well, and I don't know if you noticed, that time the snap back to Brody took forever to get back there.
Well,
it was,
that one just nosedived.
Right.
So it's interesting all night.
Yeah, it could be an adventure. So Dragons will start first and 10 at their own 6-yard line.
Start punting from under center.
Yeah, right. Leading 14-0. Handoff goes to number 14, and again, Travion McCoy-Gay, who had 2 carries coming into the game, and now he's got 2 carries in this game, and one of those was a 74-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, maybe they switched numbers.
Not sure exactly what.
See if we can find Israel Morgan over there on the sidelines.
Yeah, very possible. They have tricked us. Forward hands off, running to the right side. Good job by the Hippos, stopping at the line of scrimmage, the 10-yard line. Yeah, this
is where you want them right. third and long in this
Third
wind.
and long into the wind.
Yeah, 22 is standing right over there by the coach on the sideline. So, and it looks like
you wonder if maybe there's some sort of trouble. A lot of times you guys see guys sitting out first quarter or something. Yeah.
So 3rd down, 7 yards needed. Trying to swing a pass out of the backfield and
I think it was incomplete.
Incomplete, intended for Gay. He wasn't going to get the first down anyway. So good job by the Hippo defense. And now this is where that old field position thing could come into play. Now Round Rock's are going to have to punt from their own end zone.
Yeah, and again, their punter is also number 10, Seth Ford, their quarterback, kind of the do-it-all guy, the punter, the kickoff specialist, and the quarterback. Doesn't kick field goals, though, which is kind of interesting.
Well, Hippos have Gary Choice standing inside the 35-yard line of Round Rock, so there's a ball sailed really high, and Ford's able to pull it in. That almost went over his head. Bounces straight up and then killed at the 40-yard line. Wow. Tell you, good job by Ford to snag that one. That one was almost a Hippo safety.
Went up with one hand and brought it back down. Odell Beckham.
Well, I might have to tell Brody their QB has more ups than
I was going to say, I mean, it looked identical to the first one that Brody had to do. He jumped up and one-handed, and Brody just couldn't quite bring it in, and Ford was able to. But the Hippos are going to have great field position starting at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, so we'll just pretend they got a first down out of that last play.
That's right. So 40-yard line and Round Rock into the field.
Tell you tonight, snapping either with or against the wind is going to be interesting.
It's an adventure. Grayson throwing deep right. It is caught at the 5, touchdown. Jay Lambert snags the ball. I'll tell you, Round Rock defender went up, thought he was going to tip it, jumped a little too soon, went over his hands, and Jay Lambert was there to haul it in and really just trot into the end zone.
He might have got a finger on that ball.
I think he did, yeah. I mean, it looked like just a perfect pass by Grayson, and I think it was at number 17, Jack Duncan was right there and wasn't quite able to jump high enough. And like you said, Bryce, I think maybe he might have tipped it right into Jay's hands.
Snap back, hold down, kick up by Evan Gutierrez is good. 8:09 to go in the first quarter, and the Hippos, now they got some momentum. It's Round Rock 14, Hutto 7. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
ACDI, Al Clausen Disposal, supports the Hippo Nation. ACDI is a locally owned family company that specializes in solid waste services, including residential, recycling, commercial, and roll-off. Al Clausen Disposal has grown into a top 100 ranked corporation. Their mission is simple. They're committed to providing safe, reliable, and environmentally sound waste solutions at cost-effective rates while embracing new ideas to reduce the carbon footprint. Al Clausen Disposal, your local choice for all your collection and disposal needs. ACDI says go Hippos!
So Hippos strike quickly. Cut that lead in half, 14-7 on the big pass from Grayson Doggett to Jay Lambert.
You know, it probably won't keep up, but we're on pace for a 168-84 game. It'll probably slow down a little bit, though.
You think? Certainly.
I hope so.
I wouldn't have
I hope so, because it's going to be a cold,
21
long
points
night.
in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I know the defense gathered up down here excited to get back out on the field. That's a good thing.
Yeah, well, they had a great series last time. They can get another stop here and get the Hippos offense good field position again. Kickoff fielded at the 5-yard line, out to the 10. A little bit of running room up the middle. Brought down short of the 30-yard line. Well, and there's number 22, Israel Morgan. So he's at
not
least
a discipline issue.
He's at least returning kicks.
Strange.
It's really strange to see a kind of a normal kickoff return.
Yes, it is.
In today's high school game. Yeah, it's kind of back to that, a lot of car collisions out there.
Or the old
they're going to get an extra 5 yards
on the kickoff.
Your favorite penalty.
My favorite penalty.
I guess there's another reason to just pooch it. You guys don't have to run down there as fast and be in such a hurry. Well, and now Israel Morgan's in the game.
Yeah. First and 10 at the 32-yard line. Yeah, so Israel Morgan is back in the game.
Watch
So,
play
yeah,
action.
it could have been one of those things. Handoff goes to him, and he's stopped. Nice job by the Hippos. I think
Zane
Zane
Bolding,
grabbed him by the ankles
Tell you
before
what,
he could get going.
he made both plays in that second drive as well. He stuffed the second down run, and then he was there to corral the running back out of the backfield on that third down play, and once again cuts him down for next to nothing on first down here.
Zane has had
He's made a name for himself, hasn't he?
Tell you where, another place that apparently he makes a name for himself is playing the guitar. He's apparently a pretty accomplished guitar player.
He looks like he
I was gonna
would
say,
play
He
the
could
part.
have his own rock band, doesn't it? Pitch coming to the left side. Good
Well
job by the
played.
Hippo defense. Number 3, Joseph Teagle,
Well,
stretches that one out.
And I
on the
want
option.
to compliment Anthony Martinez down here, the corner number 22. You know, we talked about early on in the machine. That's right. We talked about early on in the season. Our cornerbacks were letting the guys get outside, and this time he did a great job of funneling back inside. That's where your help is. That's exactly what you want to do.
So 3rd and 8, which is, again, where you kind of want this Round Rock team. They like to throw the ball. Handoff goes to Israel Morgan. Great job by the Hippos to stick him hard. Again, Zane Bolding with the initial hit on him, and he tries to lunge forward. Theo Anderson also with a second hit. And
there's some hard hitting going on down there.
I think that's what the Hippos want to do. And it looks like Round Rock's actually considering going for this.
Well,
and
they've
now
got
they're
their
gonna
punter
bring
on the field at all times.
Well, that's a good point. 4th down and 5. Great job by the Hippo defense. And tell you, after that initial shock by Round Rock, Hippos now have had 2 great defensive stands.
Yeah, I mean,
Great
really
defensive
one bad
series.
play, right?
Yep, that's all it is.
One bad play and 14 points.
And a special teams gaff. Hippos almost off sides on that.
Boy.
There's a line drive punt into the wind. Fair caught. Nice job by Gary Choice to corral that one at the 30. But a good punt into the wind. What you got to do, that line drive.
Yeah, that didn't seem to be affected by the wind very much.
For all the punts over the years that the Hutto have.
Oh, Bryce left his spot.
You lost your magic spot, Bryce.
Not saying of all the punt Hippos hadn't caught over the years, that was a rough one.
That was dangerous. But good job by Gary to field it. So Hippos will start 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. 6:05 to go in the first quarter. Round Rock leads it 14-7.
Got single coverage at the top. We might go deep. No.
Hand off to Kyron Miller. This might be a game of a couple of punishing running backs that are going to take some punishment themselves.
A lot of sore bodies tomorrow.
Pickup of 3. 5:45 to go in the first quarter. Hutto trails at 14-7. Fell behind quickly, 14-0. Answered with a dog it to Lambert touchdown, and then defense has stepped up 2 times in a row. Snap back, hand off to Kyron Miller. Has a little bit of a hole, runs over a Dragon, and runs over another one out to the 40-yard line. I tell you, I think it was maybe number 4 got in his way, and Davion Finch and Kyron just ran him over. 3rd down, 1 yard needed. Hippos trying to go quick. Now Grayson's going to step up and check off.
Maybe the first time that we've seen Kyron really lower his shoulder and actually run someone over this year. That's good to see.
He's for sure got the size to do it.
Important 3rd down right here for the Hippos. And flag going to have illegal procedure against Hutto. So instead of a 3rd and 1. Well, and you see that a lot when you take that long to get a play off, guys get a little anxious and somebody jumps.
Couldn't tell. Was that on Brody?
They call it Brody. I didn't see him out there, what he did. So,
yeah,
if they would have just tempoed it up and ran that play immediately,
right.
Let's get that first down.
I was kind of surprised when they checked out of it to begin with. The big difference between 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 6 against a big front like Round Rock. Snap back, Grayson. Oh, that ball just got slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell where he was trying to go with that. He had Gary Choice out in the flats and looked like Sean Davis was trying to run that 3rd down corner route that we usually run, and that ball just kind of fluttered right in the middle of everybody.
I wonder if Grayson went to throw it and was trying to almost pull it back.
Yeah, it looked like he was holding back, and he was talking to his receiver afterwards, which we're after 3 or 4 games in, we're saying that way too much.
Yeah, right. So the Hippos will punt for the third time, and the 2 snaps have been an adventure so far. Boy, that 5-yard penalty was a killer.
Yeah, it is.
You had a 3rd and 1 that you're probably going to pound the ball up the middle and great chance of getting a first, and instead now you're going to punt. Brody stands at his own 24-yard line. Snap back. Line drive over the defender's hand. Going to take a unfortunate big kick into the end zone. Boy, that had a hang time of about a half a second, and it was a missile coming out of there. But it got to the
did a job.
That got to the receiver quickly.
Not over the receiver quickly.
My goodness.
Yep.
That was a rocket. That was a rocket off the foot.
That was a pass.
It was.
Advantage of that win why you can look like Oscar Dragicevic.
Exactly. 4:26 to go in the first quarter. Hippos trail 14-7. Round Rock will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They've had one big play. That was the very first play of the game. Ford fakes a handoff to Morgan, and Morgan, somebody put a big hit on Israel Morgan.
Yeah, I think that was Junior Torres.
Well, and I think that's part of the game plan. Adam Harvey said, hey, we want to hit the guys, even if they don't have the ball, we want to pretend that they do.
And I think Junior's feeling the effects of that more than.
This time the handoff goes to Morgan. He plows forward to the 28-yard line. Going to be 2 yards short, so another big 3rd down situation for the Hippo defense. Want to get another good stop and force this Round Rock team to punt into this wind if you can. And of course, Round Rock would love nothing more than to just keep this clock going.
Yeah, get that wind.
Get the wind at their back, kind of change the field. 3rd down and 2. Morgan goes in motion. Ford's going to keep it. Has enough for the 1st down and a whole lot more. Crosses the 40 to the 45 midfield. Runs out of bounds inside Hippo territory at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like a wildcat back there. You know, it's kind of that wildcat that you saw maybe 5 or 10 years ago. You put the running back in motion and take a couple steps, kind of the Kansas State style with the, what was his
just
name?
Kind of pause for a little
quarterback.
Bit. Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's almost like you just kind of wait.
Yep.
And
let
the whole
develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just seems like it's in slow motion.
It does.
Nobody was getting.
Just waiting for the holes to develop.
So 1st and 10 for the Dragons in Hippo territory. Handoff goes to Morgan, starting left side. Has a nice hole. Eventually brought down by Zane Bolding, but a pickup of about 6 yards.
And Joseph Teagle came in from that safety position, came in really hot and lowered his shoulder. I thought he actually got ahead on the ball. And, you know, Bryce, you were talking about that they like to put the ball on the ground. I was almost expecting to see the ball on the ground there.
2:45 to go in the first quarter. Hutto trailing 14-7. Round Rock with the ball and driving at the Hutto 43-yard line. Morgan in the backfield with Ford. Low snap, gets past Ford and able to dive. Morgan dives on it, but all the way back to the 50-yard line. So
I told you I was expecting to see the ball on the
ground. There you go. You
ground.
dialed it up.
Yeah.
You did.
Man, like father, like.
That's funny.
Well, here's where you want to.
That's a big break for the Hippos because now you set up a 3rd down and almost 15 yards needed for the Dragons, and you know almost certainly a passing situation for them, which is not their strength.
But I don't know.
Came into the game,
I'd
Seth Ford only thrown the ball 54 times on the year through 3 games, so averages about, what's that?
17.
18. Heavy pressure on Ford. They set up a screen to Morgan. He's got a lot of room, cuts it back inside, and tackled at the 40-yard line. Good job by the Hippos. Who was that? Oh, that was Brody, I think, that was able to tackle him at the 40. But it's
good
job
give there by the Drag. I mean, that's exactly what they want to do on 3rd and 16. You want to pick up half, and they picked up a little more than half. I was going to say,
gives them enough yards that they can go for it here. 4th
down,
that's the pooch punt.
Watch
the pooch punt.
Yeah,
here.
watch that quick kick here.
Yeah, I think he's going to take a step back, probably pooch this one, especially into the wind.
Well, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Morgan sets up just in front of Ford over on that right side, and play clock's down to 5. Probably going to call a timeout.
Yeah, coach is over there standing next to the. Here we go.
They are going to call a timeout with 1:08. Well, they probably one of those deals too. If you're Round Rock, kind of playing that field position game, if you punt it here, and you can pin the Hippos deep, then the Hippos, you're going to flip the field here in just a
Right.
minute, and the Hippos are going to have to go into the wind.
Well, and it's a lot easier to pin someone deep when you're kicking into the wind. You know, like we said, you can get that ball up in the air, and it almost starts coming backwards. So, and he's
So,
seen
Just burning some of Hippo's clock with the wind right there.
Right.
Pretty smart on their end.
Yeah. You know, I give a lot of shout-outs every week, it seems like. Folks are texting me, tell me they're listening. But I have a very unique shout-out. This week I got an email from a lady up in Michigan. Said her husband was about to turn 30 years old, and he, for some reason, somehow he discovered the Hutto Hippos, and he's a huge Hippo fan. And she was asking how we could get him some Hippo swag or whatever, where she could buy some things. Anyway, Brad, I had Brad record a little happy birthday wish, but I'm going to give a happy 30th birthday to Ryan Kamer that's listening up in Michigan
how cool
tonight.
How do you find the Hippos
I don't
from there?
know. I don't know, but we have a fan up in Michigan. So they come back out, and there he drops down into that quick kick formation.
Oh,
Kicks
he's
it
only
straight out of bounds. So Shankomatic right there.
Yeah, and I think he kicked for a first down, but unfortunately that doesn't count.
Just barely.
Yeah, back by an inch.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made it or not. Well, you know, Todd, that's kind of like the lady I saw in the parking lot
Yeah.
last week, the
Yeah.
Hippo chick from
From Missouri, right? I think is where you said she was from.
okay, a couple pictures of her motorcycle, had it all hippoed out.
Yeah.
And pretty,
She was
pretty
1
neat
week
deal.
early. It was all pink too. She was
That's
ready
right.
for pink
She
out,
needed
but
pink
she didn't
out
get the
this
memo.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, you know, you start finding out there's a lot of people love the Hippos or love Hippos, and then they love the Hippos. Deep pass intended for number 17, Damian Jones, and ball just kind of hung just a little bit.
And he was covered by, well, there's 4 Round Rock defenders running back.
Yeah, 2 of them on him. He still almost
he
pulled it
did.
down.
Kind of makes you wonder if there's 4 of those guys on Damian Jones, who else could have been
someone.
open somewhere?
Right. Hippos, I think, trying to get one last shot in, maybe going deep with the win at their back and see if they can steal a possession.
Second down and 10. Handoff goes to Kyron Miller, starts left, comes back right, and kind of tiptoes a little bit. Never really got his engine going there. Gets
And you
up to
wonder
the
if
32.
maybe he had a little talking to this week from the coaches about not bouncing it outside so much. We haven't really seen that so far. We've seen him kind of pound it inside, and now it's almost like you kind of want to pound it outside again because we're not having a lot of success inside.
If you're the Hippos here, you want to kind of get a playoff with enough time that if you don't get a first down, you're going to be able to punt it with the wind at your back, right? Taking their time.
Well, then you got to snap it into the wind, though. It's a double-edged sword.
I'd rather punt with the wind at my back. Take that chance. Grayson with a pass over the middle, and it is caught by Carson Forrest. That's going to be enough for a first down at the 42-yard line. Good pass by Grayson. Grayson stood in there, just waited for Carson to make his break, and completes it for the Hippo first down at the 43-yard line. And on that play, and the good thing about that is that gets them in the kind of field position that if the drive ends up stalling, then your punt into the wind's not going to hurt you too much. We played 1 quarter here at Hutto Memorial Stadium. It's Round Rock 14, Hutto 7. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
Hutto Family Eye Care has partnered with Hutto ISD for almost 10 years. Hutto Family Eye Care has been the leader and preferred provider of quality vision care products and personalized service to patients in Hutto. Their doctors use only the most advanced, state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. Give your vision the level of care and attention it deserves. Hutto Family Eye Care on Exchange Boulevard, across the street from the post office.
Welcome back to Hutto Memorial Stadium. We've played 1 quarter. Hippos trail at 14-7. And I tell you, Round Rock's 14 points came on the very first play from scrimmage, the 74-yard touchdown run. And then their second touchdown came on a snap over Brody Bueno's head when he was deep to punt for the Hippos, and the Dragons recovered it in the end zone for the touchdown. So other than that, Hippo defense has done a good job. Hippo offense was able to put the 7 on the board.
Well,
with the
yeah,
connection.
and a good job of bouncing back. You know, not like you said, this could be kind of a snowball effect, and a pretty good job of the Hippos to kind of take that one on the chin and keep rolling and understand that there's still 46 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, which often speaks to leadership and coaching. Grayson state drops, trying to set up a screen pass. Brody with the one-handed snag.
Well, he saw his counterpart do it on the other side.
Brody
that was a quarterback catching that.
That was a Gronk kind of look right there.
Well,
cousin to cousin for 4 yards.
He could be a big factor right there.
Yeah, well. And, fortunately he brought that in because there were a couple of guys around him. Trying to set up a quick screen, and Sean Davis, ball bounced up. He caught it off the deflection.
Boy,
but it
Ty Dillon, number 3, read that
the
the whole way, and he almost jumped in front of that and took that one back. Ended up, like you said, he ended up deflecting, and Sean actually caught it. Would have been better off dropping it, yeah.
Yeah, ended up losing a yard, so now it's 3rd down and 8 for the Hippos going into that win, so things get a little bit tougher at this point. 2 receivers right side,
for that
2 left.
roll out corner route.
Choice goes in motion from left to right. Grayson rolling to his right as Ryan calls. There's a sideline pass. Boy, Jay Lambert wanted a flag. Looked like there was a dragon draped all over him at about the 45-yard line, but no call, and it goes through his hands and out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, I was kind of calling the same thing from over here. He was draped on him.
Yeah. It looked like a good ball, too.
Kind of put it right there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Jay immediately was signaling.
Well, I think they had a hold of his right arm and didn't let him get up and put 2 hands on it.
All right, so Brody now will punt for the first time into this stiff wind. Low snap, picks it up. Knuckleball is going to hit at the 30-yard line, takes a hippo bounce inside the 30 and going to be killed at the 26. Good job by Brody.
That'll work.
I don't know. I really hadn't noticed who's been deep snapping on punts, but that's Carson Forrest doing that. And I don't think he has been. But, that was a good snap there. I mean, just keep it low and get it back there.
Brad talked about that at the coaches show on Monday night, how Carson Forrest last week, I'm not sure what happened, but he had to come in and he had to come in and snap.
Said he got a 5-minute lesson in deep snapping.
Yeah, he got a lesson in deep snapping, and then this week they worked with him, and he earned a spot as the deep snapper.
I knew 55, our deep snapper, got hurt and came out, but never did see who went in.
Yeah, it was Carson. Ford fakes a handoff to Morgan, keeps it running to the right side, tries to stiff arm a hippo, and that doesn't work out too well. Gets pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Pickup of 4 on the play. He's a big boy. That's a big quarterback. He's kind of a Ellinger.
Yeah. He's got that. Definitely has that body build.
Well, and he's not short either. He's probably 6'1".
He is tall
solid,
and thick.
Probably 220.
Handoff to Morgan, looking for some running room up the middle. Gets up to the 35-yard line, going to be about a yard short of the first. Hippos have done a good job bottling up Israel Morgan so far. They've only been hurt by the one big play by number 14, Travion McCoy-Gay, who had 2 carries coming into the game, but his first carry of this one went 76 yards for a touchdown. Yeah. Morgan's the one averaging 175 yards. Yeah,
we were watching 22 on the sideline, and we didn't pay attention to him.
So 3rd down and 1. Handoff goes to Morgan to the left side, pushes forward, and I think he's going to have enough for the first. Yeah, he needed the 31, and he got between the 31 and the 32. Well, I'm going to mark him at the 32. So 1st down and 10 for the Dragons. Somebody's pink towel or sock or something's laying there on the field. It is pink out night for the Hippos. Ford with a drop, rolling to his right, looking to throw. He's got a man deep, and it is in and out of the hands of number 6, Mason Schuler, and I think Ryan called it. That one's going to come back. He had Ford had some guys chasing him. I didn't see who it was.
It was Brody. It was Brody, and
from the backside.
They kind of whipped him around the legs. I think that's what they're going to get called for. But yeah, he did have Mason Schuler. He had his man beat, and that was a pretty good pass, actually.
Yeah, and Schuler's the one that Adam Harvey said before the game that they really needed to be sure and hit him whenever they could. He only has
Interesting,
seven
yeah, he's got
catches for
7
55
yeah.
yards, but I think they saw some things on film that lets him know that he has some deep threat ability.
Well, I was kind of thinking that William Lane, number 8, was their deep threat guy. He's got 5 catches for 157 yards this year, so he seems like more of the deep threat, get behind you kind of guy.
Second down, looking to set up a screen, and that one's complete to number 14. Travion McCoy-Gay, good job by the Hippos to recognize that screen. Tell you, Ford almost held on to that one a little too long.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who was chasing him. Was that Dietrich Williams?
I couldn't tell somebody coming on his backside.
I think it
but
was Dietrich.
I don't know if there, but there's a lot of pads popping out here.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's some hard hitting going on.
Oh, we can hear it from up here.
You know, talking about pink out night, I don't know if you saw what I posted of Grayson
Yeah,
in the stands
that's
in
funny.
pink out,
Yeah.
which was Ryan and Hayden's senior year.
Yep. Hippo's going to jump off sides. About 4 Hippos jumped off sides. Makes you think that was either a really good hard count or somebody moved on the Dragon line.
I think that's the first time that they've tried to go hard count all night. And, halfway through the second quarter, I guess your mind starts to get a little lax, and that's kind of a perfect time to do it.
Gets them up to the original line of scrimmage, so second down and 10 now. Yeah, the whole defensive line jumped.
Yep.
Empty backfield. Now Morgan goes in motion from right to left. Ford with a straight drop, heavy pressure, trying to set up that screen again. That one goes to number 6, Mason Schuler. Tackled hard at the 45-yard line, about 2 yards short of the first down. They like that screen, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, it makes you wonder. You've seen that Seth Ford's thrown 51 passes this year. You wonder how many of those have actually been in front of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I'm guessing less than 10.
I mean, that's probably, 5th screen pass they've thrown tonight already?
Yeah, well, 3rd in a row.
It's a good spot for them. 3rd down and 2. You have a feeling Morgan's is going to get the ball right here, and he does. And he's got a lot of running room and probably is going to run away from the Hippos, and he does, all the way for the Round Rock touchdown. Well, 3rd down and 2, and you figure 90% of the people in the stadium know he's going to get that ball, and once he busted that line of scrimmage, there was just nobody home to stop him, and he ran away from the Hippos and puts another score on the board for the Dragons.
You see that so often. You got these short yardage situations. Everybody gets bunched up, and if you get through that first line of defense, there's not a second level to really protect you from anything, and a lot of times that's when those big runs do get busted.
Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good by number 36, Garrett Kalinowski. 7:50 to go in the second quarter. It's now Round Rock 21, Hutto 7. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
The Hutto Family YMCA, proud to partner with Hutto ISD. The Hutto Family YMCA is a center for fitness, family, and community. They provide Hutto residents with a state-of-the-art facility for programs and events that focus on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. The YMCA works with Hutto ISD to provide an after-school program and other events such as Friday Night Live for middle school students. Check out the Hutto Y or call 512-846-2360. The Hutto Family YMCA, strength from within.
Welcome back to Hutto Memorial Stadium. 7:50 to go in the second quarter. Hippos now trail at 21-7, and they have been the victim of the big play twice tonight. A 74-yard touchdown run by McCoy-Gay and a 55-yard touchdown run by Israel Morgan. They've done a great job of bottling Morgan up so far on the night, but he was able to bust through on that 3rd and 2. Takes it 55 yards for the touchdown. And the Hippos find themselves 2 touchdowns behind once again. Kickoff goes out of the back of the end zone, so Hippos will set up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And we mentioned earlier how rare it is to actually see a kickoff return. It seems just as rare to see one go out of the back of the end zone now.
Yeah, it does. Well, really need to try to sustain a drive here. 7:50, you're going into this win now. And, again, they responded well last time, and Hippos need to see a response again. Trying to figure out why there's 2 Round Rock kids with Round Rock jerseys standing on our sidelines.
Look like JV jerseys.
Ball boys down.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hippo setting up a screen pass. Is that Jay Lambert?
Yeah.
Gets it across the 25, up near the 27. I thought he had a little bit of more running room than that, but he kind of hesitated.
Yeah, and he started running laterally, and it looked like who's at 33, Elijah Colazzo, came in from behind and brought him down. Guess we're just going to be the screen versus screen game tonight.
I guess so. Pickup of 3, second down and 7. Just a quick pass to Jay Lambert. Jay, got to go forward, not backwards. Well, Jay had it at the 30 and then decided to run backwards with it. And ball's on the ground, but that's after the play.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure why Jay decided to try
second time that he's tried to bounce it back and try to gain more yards going left and right, and that doesn't usually work.
No, and then the ball got on the ground, but they said he was down. Have a little stoppage in the play right here for while they tend to a player on the field. While I'm giving shout-outs, one really important shout-out that I want to give tonight, and other Hippo Nation folks can certainly join me in this. They can go to Facebook and comment, but today is the 3rd Hippo anniversary of our superintendent, Dr. Selena Estrada Thomas. She's been with us exactly 3 years today, and I was like, she went the whole day before she ever told me that. Like,
does that surprise you?
No.
I
I probably should have had it on my calendar. I need to add it to my calendar for next year. So, but yeah, she is obviously just a jewel for Hippo Nation, and tell you, somebody that's only been here for 3 years, it's amazing how much she loves and embraces Hippo Nation, probably
kidding.
more than just about anybody that's
kidding.
even lived here for years. So Hippo Nation's very blessed by having Dr. Thomas as our superintendent, and I am very fortunate to get to work with her very closely day in and day out. So 3rd down and 8 for the Hippos. Tough situation into this win now. And again, this is where that field position really becomes big if you don't move the ball. Grayson looking over the no, I thought he was looking over the middle.
Well,
I'm not sure.
He had
Sean
Gary
Davis,
Choice across the middle.
Gary Choice
and Sean
turned
Davis,
inside, and Sean stayed outside.
Once
and I
again,
think,
miscommunication.
and Sean's kind of holding his hands to one of his coaches, like, I don't know. I think Grayson thought Sean was going to turn it inside too.
Well,
Falls
and
incomplete.
you wonder if maybe Grayson saw one thing thinking it was zone coverage. A lot of times when it's zone coverage, those guys have more freedom to drift around and find those holes, and I think maybe he was thinking he was going to drift inside and find that hole, and Sean stayed put.
Brody gets heavy pressure, gets his punt away. That one kind of hangs up in the wind. Bounces at the 45-yard line, killed at the 47, and Hippo into the field. So Dragons are going to have great field position to start their next possession, and already leading 21-7.
Yeah, kind of feels like a must stop here.
Really does,
Well,
doesn't it?
and with the way the offense is playing, you feel like you need something big out of your defense.
Yeah.
Right? You need some sort of spark right now. There's no spark. There's no life. Someone's got to step up and get something going.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has played well other than 2 big plays.
Just kind of methodically
on the night.
well, though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Turnover
had that
would be
big,
nice.
And, had that big offsides penalty as well. Handoff goes to Morgan running left side.
Well played.
Strung out by Landon Watson, and then coming in to get the final shot. It's number 4, Jose Pena.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a size difference
I was
between
gonna say,
Jose and the other
he had
2.
some good assistance from Landon, though, there. He's kind of stringing him out and
Yep.
not able to lower his shoulder, and Jose got a good little pop on him.
Loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11. 6:12 to go in the second quarter. Hutto trailing 21-7.
Well, I tell you, Coach Harvey gave the defense a nice little talk over here on the bench a while ago, so they should be inspired.
Yeah, he can inspire people. Forward with a straight drop. Heavy pressure by Brody Bueno. He slips out of it and tries to complete a pass. It's incomplete, intended for number 84. 84 is not on my roster.
Well, they had good coverage. Yeah, that's the one number that they don't have.
I know. It's like the coach never sent us a roster. I had to pull it off of Max Prep. So I'm like, they have like every number you can have. except 84th, and
yeah.
that's the guy that he throws to. So incomplete, 3rd down and 11. Hippos with a pressured look. Little draw play to Morgan. Well played by Braylon Sugg and Landon Watson to stop Morgan after a pickup of about 4 at the 43-yard line. You figure the Dragons are going to go for this.
Yeah, you would think so. It's been interesting to see. They've kind of aired the ball out
I'd
a few
say
times.
they will. You know, at the same time, you're
I don't
like,
know,
do you
with
want
the
to
way
pit
their
the Hippos
defense is
against the wind?
Yeah, watch for a hard count. Don't jump off sides here, and they might step back and do that pooch kick.
4th down and 6.
Yeah.
Little shift by their offensive line and going to have illegal procedure. I think this one now will definitely set them up to punt. Well, and I think they try to run that little shift, hoping when you do that, you're going to get the defense to jump.
Well, yeah, except you can't put your hand down if you're a lineman and then hop up and try to go switch positions. That's either a really poorly designed play.
You play by your rules. I play by theirs.
Somewhat well.
Then number 8 comes in. It's tackle. That's kind of interesting.
Well, they're still lined up like they're going to go for it.
No, they're not.
4th down and 11.
Well, and we almost jumped off sides.
Yeah. Ball's at the 48, and there they do. Drop back into that little pooch kick formation. Well, you know, and that's not a bad thing because you have to play it honest, right? That takes a big Hippo bounce into the end zone for a touchback. You have to play that honest because if you drop a guy back too early, then you're shorting yourself. And so you got to get if you got a kid that can do that can kick it like forward, then why not?
Fortunately, he's got too big of a leg and kicked it out of the back of the end zone. But, yeah, it is kind of a tricky situation, right? Because you know what they're going to do, right?
Yeah.
And you know you want to put someone back there, but like
you're 99% sure.
But you can't.
1st and 10 for the Hippos now at the 20-yard line. They really need to get a drive sustained here. Doesn't start well for Kyron Miller, although he's able to bounce it outside. And then just stiff arm, number 3. Ty Dillon takes a little bit of a ride off of the arm of Kyron Miller. And
that's the Kyron that we've been seeing the last few weeks, right? He bounces outside, and then he gets that stiff arm. That's how he's been trucking people, is he's been stiff arming them.
You know, little plays like that are the things that can fire people up, too.
Yeah.
You mentioned that. Hand off to Kyron again, crosses the 30, out to the 32-yard line, 1st down for the Hippos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Sports is funny how sometimes it's little things that spark. And sometimes it's a stiff arm, right? Or it's running over a guy like Kyron's doing right now.
And he is in the zone right now.
I think Kyron said, guys, jump on my back. I'm going to carry us for a little bit.
And now he's going to get a breather. Dejon Higgins going to come in to spell him for a few plays.
2nd down and 5, 4:20 to go in the first half. Hippos trail at 21-7. Need to get a score.
You got to be able to run the ball right now. Going into this 20-mile-an-hour wind, obviously we're not going to have success throwing the ball down the field. Not consistently, so you've got to be able to find that running game.
Grayson trying to swing a pass to Gary Choice out of the left side. Does. Takes it up to the 45-yard line, 1st down. I like the little chunks that the Hippos are doing right now. Not trying to do something big, just taking it in 5-yard chunks. And you do that, you can drive down and get a score.
Oh, and got some good help from his buddy Sean Davis out there on the outside with a great block on the cornerback.
So 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line in their own end of the field. Grayson throwing it over the middle. He's got a man left side. Sean Davis, I thought it was middle. It wasn't. His left sideline. Sean Davis takes it at the 35, inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line.
And that's what you can do with those screen passes. You get them sucked up, fake like you're going to block, and all of a sudden you just pop out right behind him, and you've got a wide open zone.
Hippos trying to go quickly. Kyron Miller takes the handoff. This time, good job by the Dragon defense to hold him to about a 1-yard gain down to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest pass Grayson threw, but you're right, Ryan. They get him sucked up on that, and I tell you, Sean's been doing a great job blocking.
Yes, he has.
And, boy, he was able to just slip around that corner and, had a little hole right there between the safety and corner.
Well, and that's such a mental thing as a receiver, being able to block well.
Talked about that at the coaches show with A.J. Daniels Monday night. There's a pass to Sean Miller. Jukes out of a tackle. Crosses the 30, run out of bounds. See where they end up spotting it.
Oh, again, kind of fortunate that ball wasn't picked off. That was a strange screenplay. It looked like it was kind of a decision, right? And then that was a check down, and it was Ty Dillon again, almost jumped that and took it back.
3rd down and 7 for the Hippos. Ball at the 29-yard line in Dragon territory. Obviously, you've got 2 plays here to get the first down. You don't have to get all 7 of it in one. Get 3.5 on this one, 3.5 on the next one.
That'll do it.
That's my math. Grayson throwing deep ball, just hangs that one up, and it's picked off. And a lot of room to return that one at midfield. And, boy, finally run out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And, well.
Yeah, Grayson got smoked when he let it go.
Well, yeah, he was looking to go deep to Jay Lambert on that post route, and I think, again, throwing into that wind, that ball just kind of it just loses its steam so quickly and hung up there, and I don't think Jay saw it.
Up like a punt, and number 24, Carson Otworth, was able to return it all the way to the Hippo 40-yard line.
Like Bryce said, Grayson got popped pretty good, and I think that affected the throw too. You know, that's tough. You know,
well,
right as you're starting to roll,
you'd
and
really
get a
been
good
moving the ball,
rolling.
and that's what I said. You don't have to get it all on that one play, but the Hippo coaches obviously thought they saw something there. Now your defense is with their backs to the wall. 2:55 to go in the first half. You've got to get a stop. Can't let the Dragons add to that lead. Handoff goes to Morgan. Hard hit at the line of scrimmage, and then followed up by Landon Watson. Braylon Davis with the initial hit.
Yeah, popped him really good.
Hey, let's go, Dave.
Israel Morgan's going to get a break. So we're going to see Travion McCoy-Gay back in there.
Yeah, that hadn't been so good for the Hippos.
No.
2nd and 12 for the Dragons. A little rollout by Ford. Good tackle by Theo Anderson. Pass was complete to number 8, William Lane.
Yeah, and they brought him in kind of as a fullback, wingback, and it was a kind of a bootleg and had him rolling across the formation.
Handoff goes to Travion McCoy-Gay, stopped at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a 4th down and 3-yard situation needed with a 1:45 to go.
Here comes.
Bringing in like a jumbo package.
Yeah. And Israel
got to be careful
Morgan,
because
yes,
this is where
we give up the big play last
where
time.
you can.
Yeah, fortunately, it looks like it's 4th and almost
they need
a
3
long
yards.
3, so you're not quite as stacked up as you were earlier.
Hippos actually called timeout. Yeah, go back to that interception that Grayson threw, and that's actually I believe that's Grayson's first interception of the year. Had 7 touchdowns and actually 8 touchdowns after the touchdown earlier in the game. 8 touchdowns and no interceptions prior to that one. So I guess it has to come at some point.
And that's something that seems like it's been a big improvement from last year. And I think last year maybe a lot more aggressive. This year, it might have something to do with not really trusting what routes your receivers are going to run. And, so not trying to fit that ball into as tight of a window. And, sometimes you want your quarterbacks to throw a few interceptions because it means, like I said, it does mean they're throwing the ball down the field and being aggressive and trying to make some plays. And
you don't want them to throw an interception, but you're okay.
But you're okay with it, especially on deep passes, because you'll give up an interception if it means 50% of the time you're going to complete a deep pass or complete a deep pass for a touchdown or whatever the analytics say. The math behind it.
It's always math with you.
It's always math with everything.
So here they go. 4th down, 3 yards needed. Pitch to Morgan. And
Good
great
play.
job by the Hippo defense to just snuff that out. Braylon Sugg, add that one to your highlight film. Super job to come knifing in there.
Did you see the formation they had?
That was odd.
So they had Israel Morgan in the backfield, but then they had 3 guys lined up like 3 fullbacks, bang, 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 all on the right side. So it was obvious where they were going. I think they were just trying to overload that right side and just tossed it over there, hoping they could get more hats on hats than we had. And like you said, great play there by Braylon, and I think Braylon Davis actually was the one that came in and cleaned that one up. So that's twice in a row on that drive.
So 1:26 to go in the first half. Hippos stopped that drive down 21-7, and you wonder, you going to try to just run out the clock? Grayson keeping it on a little option play. Takes it up to the 35. I got marked at 34. Only picked up one. I thought Grayson had at least 3 on that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we probably go slow right here.
Yeah, you get the ball to start the second half.
I think they gave him 2.
Did they? Okay.
That's generous.
Grayson swinging it a little low, intended for Sean Davis over on the Hutto sidelines.
Yeah, he had him. They were on the same communication that time, and just put it a little low.
I'll tell you, I don't like Sean's body language.
No, I kind of noticed that a while ago. And if you're Hutto, I think you want to just get out of here with the score where it's at half, and
thinking so too.
Let's kind of reboot.
But now you're at 3rd and 9, and
yeah, that incomplete pass wasn't good.
3rd and 9, and they've got 2 timeouts left. Handoff goes to Kyron Miller. Across the 40, the 45. Well, there you go.
Oh, here you go. Now you get
that
first
46,
down, and now you're thinking, hey, let's go score something.
Can maybe try to do something. So first down, 52 seconds to go. Tell you, they wound that clock really fast before those chains got set. Great. Intended for Sean.
Yeah, and again, trying to fit it in that window. It looks like they're running that cover 2, which means the corner's going to stay down on the flats, and the safety's got to get all the way over to the top. So usually that window is that seam right along the sidelines, and Grayson's been doing a good job so far.
Everything's been to that left side too. You might take a look at that other side. Grayson with a straight drop, throwing it over the middle, deflected and intercepted at the 35-yard line. Diving in to get that deflection was number 44. Jalen Gilbert. The good news is it's down at their 35-yard line. Bad news is that's Grayson's second interception.
Yeah, and that's a ball that should have been caught, or
right.
You got to catch that or knock it down your way.
Yeah, once that ball gets deflected up in the air like that, then you just know that there's about
and you see so many times
50% chance somebody's going to pick
those
that
are the
off.
types of balls that get not only picked off but have good returns on them. So fortunate to get the man down.
I think we were trying to do a little too much right there.
I agree.
Yeah, probably so. So first and 10 for the Dragons.
And, just don't let anything behind you.
Hand off to Morgan. Good job to stop him at the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5, and Round Rock's going to call timeout.
Yeah, saying they might be content on taking this to half, but
with this strong wind, why not? Why not? You got that wind at your back.
I would venture to guess that he could probably get the ball to the end zone from here. Yeah. Now, question is, will he have time for his receivers to get down there if we have all of our guys pinning in his back and getting after him? But
obviously, one of our struggles has been the deep pass this year.
Yep. Well, and playing the ball in the air, so that does kind of worries you a little bit.
I tell you, Ford's only thrown one deep ball, and watching a few of Grayson's with the wind, they kind of get turned sideways with this northwest wind, and it's a tough throw with the wind as well, right?
Right. Well, I think Ryan, you kind of hit it too. If he is going to throw something deep, you got to get pressure back there. Just don't give him time to set up and chunk it. So second down and 5, 32 seconds to go. Round Rock still has one timeout remaining. Hippos trailing 21-7. Can't give up a score here before halftime. You got the ball to start the second half. There goes that number 6 with a little jet sweep. And Coach Harvey mentioned that one too. Said they like to run that jet sweep to number 6, and we're going to hit him pretty hard.
We're going to have too many men in the backfield here. Boy, he didn't try to avoid it. Well, he ran right in the back.
The clock continues to run. So somebody
– just let it.
Yeah, right. That should have been stopped with about 18 seconds left, and it went all the way down to 10. Good call, Ryan.
Yeah. Are you surprised?
Ryan sees penalties more than anybody I know.
Hey,
watching the
I had 4 years with Texas Tech football. I got a lot of experience with penalties.
I was watching the Pflugerville Manor game on TV last night, and Pflugerville attempts a field goal right at the end of half, and somehow, some way, the horn goes off like when the ball snapped.
Oh, wow.
And it had to mess the kicker
Well,
up.
sure.
The Pflugerville coach, Charles Taylor, was some kind of upset, but I'm like, hey, that's your home guy doing that. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was really strange.
Well, kickers are always a little odd
it's like a
anyway.
golf
It's
shot.
kind
It's like
of
a
like a
golf
horn
shot.
going off in the middle of your backswing
Yep.
playing golf.
Yeah.
It just tends to mess you up.
Or a dog
Or at least
barking.
you say it does.
Or you say it does. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right.
Messes me up all the time. About 75% of my swings, there's a horn or a dog or
Quietness.
something.
Quietness
Yeah,
messes
that's
me
right.
up, yeah.
Well, Round Rock decides just to let the clock run out after they mark off the penalty. And that's where we'll go to halftime with the Hippos trailing 21-7. Kind of quick recap on this one. Started fast. Hippos kicked off, and Round Rock on their very first possession from the 26-yard line had Travion McCoy-Gay take the ball straight up the middle, untouched, 74 yards for a touchdown, and instantly had a 7-0 lead. And then the Hippos on their first possession had to punt. Snap over Brody Bueno's head, recovered in the end zone by the Round Rock Dragons, and they were up 14-0, 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And the Hippos
No,
responded.
almost 1 minute into the game.
1 minute into the game.
10 minute, 52 seconds.
Hippos responded with a score to make it 14-7, and then Round Rock got a score again on a big run by Israel Morgan, 55-yard run. That's where we stand 21-7. So really it's been two big plays by Round Rock tonight on two different running backs and then a big play on special teams. Other than that, Hippo defense has done a good job. Hippo offense has struggled. Part of that has been going into this wind on that last possession, certainly trying to get something late and couldn't.
Yeah, but didn't really have a whole lot going into with the win at our back, other than the one scoring drive that we had. Well, and that wasn't really even a scoring drive. That was a one-play 40-yard touchdown pass to Jay Lambert. And
right.
Really, the best drive that we had was into the wind right before that interception that Grayson threw, looking across the middle on third down. And yeah, other than that, haven't seen a lot of success.
I think the good news is, though, you have some things you can talk about at halftime, some positive things. You can play with this team, obviously.
Well, you could play with this team, and you can come back from halftime
Absolutely.
deficit, not playing well at halftime. I mean, all year we have been a second half team, and like Brad mentioned before the game that they wanted to become a first half team, but here we are again, and it's worked out. It's worked out all right so far. So
Hippos will get the ball to start the second half, trailing 21-7. Well, we are at halftime. We're going to take a listen and a look at the Hutto High School band, or part of it. Again, they have reduced their numbers each week to help with COVID issues and not issues, COVID safety.
preventative
There you go.
prevention.
That's right. So let's watch and listen to the Hutto Hippo band and the High Steppers.
Spirit Stepper of the Week is Annalise Hayes. This week's High Stepper of the Week is Armani Washington. Please enjoy this exciting streamer jazz routine to Bad Guy. steppers are under the direction of Brooke Solomon. And now, a performance from the Hutto High School Marching Band. But first, a shout out to Chloe Olson. Thank you for being the lovely sister you are. To Madison Hurd. We are so proud of you, Madison. Have a great show. To Stone. Keep up the good work. Love you. To Zoe Weir and Aiden Amling. Don't mess up. Love, Mom. To Ian. I am so proud of you. Hit those high notes, son. Love, Mom. And to Scott, you are a great leader. Keep swinging those arms. If you would love to give a shout out to your favorite athlete, musician, or student performer at the next home game, see the band booster tent on the north side of the home stands. We now bring you hits from Green Day, Coldplay, and J-Lo, with featured twirler Maggie Kradimski, and under the field direction of drum majors Macy Watson, Scott Gist, Nico Ornelas, and Penny Schneider. Please enjoy the Celebration Remix.
Tonight's Pink Out game includes the first Battle of the Mascots presented by the Hutto Resource Center. The mission of the Hutto Resource Center is to provide resources and assistance to the Hutto community that will improve the lives and outcomes. Well, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Hutto Resource Center provides great support opportunities to the Hutto citizens with any type of cancer, especially those who have a need with expenses related to the diagnosis. During the month of October, the HRC has raised nearly $5,000 to support Hutto citizens who have a need with a cancer-related expense. If you would like to give back to the community through the Hutto Resource Center, you can visit their website at huttoresourcecenter.org. They accept donations through cash, check, Venmo, and PayPal. All donations stay in Hutto to support our citizens. Let's welcome the mascots to the field for tonight's dance-off. We have Camp Bow Wow's Scouts.
Have a fun little dance-off competition about to take place between a couple of, or 5 local mascots. And this is all done as part of the Hutto Resource Center's Herd Out Cancer Initiative. Of course, this is Pink Out. And Hutto Resource Center contributes much money every year to Hutto, the community, for those who have cancer-related needs. And while Pink Out is breast cancer, Pink Out certainly helps all kinds of folks with all kinds of cancer needs in Hutto. Mission of the Hutto Resource Center is to provide resources and assistance to the Hutto community that will improve lives and outcomes. During the month of October, Hutto Resource Center has raised nearly $5,000 to support Hutto citizens who have need with a cancer-related expense. So we watch the dance-off here between the mascots. I tell you what, the referee's kind of doing it in the middle, isn't he? The Sports Clips referee. All donations stay in Hutto and support our citizens. We have Rufus from Kangaroo out there. We also have the Dalmatian from the Hutto Fire Department. We have Buddy from HEB, the referee from Sports Clips, and Camp Bow Wow as their mascot out there as well. And tell you what, the Fire Department Dalmatian's doing a good job, as is Kangaroo or Rufus. They all are. This is fun. Something about those inflatable mascots, like the referee guy, though, at midfield, that is pretty hilarious. So after this dance-off is over, there will be a crowd participation voting for the winner, and the winner gets a traveling trophy. I do want to mention, for anybody interested in contributing to Hutto Resource Center, they gladly accept donations through cash, check, Venmo, PayPal, and you can visit their website at huttoresourcecenter.org. All right, here we go. Round of applause, and we will see.
For Scout from Camp Bow Wow.
Scout for Camp Bow Wow did a good job. Get some applause.
How about Rufus?
Rufus, the Kangaroo mascot.
How about our favorite bag of groceries, Buddy from HEB?
Buddy from HEB gets a big round of applause. That might have been his best dance move right there.
The referee from Sport Clips.
Oh, the referee gets the big cheer. It's going to be hard to beat.
For Dalmatian from Hutto Fire and Rescue.
Oh, big cheer for Dalmatian, too, I tell you. Referee and Dalmatian might need to have a dance-off. I will tell you, they decided not to enter the hippo.
And the winner is
One of our hippos We decided not to have one of our Hippo mascots in this because we thought that would be unfair.
And your winner is, for the 2020 mascot dance-off,
Wow.
Dalmatian from Hutto Fire and Rescue.
I'm not sure why she was walking over to Buddy, but looks like the winner is the Dalmatian from Hutto Fire and Rescue. That was confusing. Referee doesn't look very happy. I think he's going to throw a flag.
The Hutto Resource Center would like to give a special thank you to the Hutto High School cheerleaders and their junior ROTC for helping paint the windows at the local businesses to show school spirit and support the Herd Out
Referee is coming up hot.
Remember, if you would like to give back to the community through the Hutto Resource Center, you can visit their website at huttoresourcecenter.org.
And again, a great opportunity for folks to help the Hutto Resource Center. That was a fun little competition. I want to give a shout out to Billy LaJudas. She actually helped organize that for the Hutto Resource Center. Pink Out has become a big event in Hutto every year. I think the Pink Out initiative has raised upwards of probably $150,000 over the last 7 or 8 years for the community of Hutto. So we appreciate what Carrie Wright, her cheerleaders, all those who help run Pink Out, and then the Hutto Resource Center and all that they do to help the community. Again, if you would like to make a donation to Hutto Resource Center, you can go to their website, huttoresourcecenter.org, and you can make a donation through Venmo or PayPal, or a check, or cash. They gladly accept cash as well. About 11 minutes to go before the start of the second half. We'll leave it turned on here. We're going to turn off our microphones, and so you'll just see the field, and we'll be back about 2 or 3 minutes before the start of the second half. Hippos trailing 21-7 to the Round Rock Dragons.
A-Plus Federal Credit Union is a longtime supporter of Hutto ISD. Earn cash back and support Hippo Nation with the student-designed A-Plus FCU Hutto ISD Hippo Debit Card. When you use your Hippo Debit Card, you and Hutto ISD both earn up to 10 cents with every purchase. Hutto ISD has received over $71,000 in cash back from A-Plus FCU members since August 2016. Stop by the Hutto branch on Ed Schmidt Boulevard to get your card and start earning today. Membership required. Insured by NCUA.
ACDI, Al Clausen Disposal, supports the Hippo Nation. ACDI is a locally owned family company that specializes in solid waste services, including residential, recycling, commercial, and roll-off. Al Clausen Disposal has grown into a top 100 ranked corporation. Their mission is simple. They're committed to providing safe, reliable, and environmentally sound waste solutions at cost-effective rates while embracing new ideas to reduce the carbon footprint. Al Clausen Disposal, your local choice for all your collection and disposal needs. ACDI says go Hippos!
Hutto Family Eye Care has partnered with Hutto ISD for almost 10 years. Hutto Family Eye Care has been the leader and preferred provider of quality vision care products and personalized service to patients in Hutto. Their doctors use only the most advanced, state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. Give your vision the level of care and attention it deserves. Hutto Family Eye Care on Exchange Boulevard, across the street from the post office.
The Hutto Family YMCA, proud to partner with Hutto ISD. The Hutto Family YMCA is a center for fitness, family, and community. They provide Hutto residents with a state-of-the-art facility for programs and events that focus on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. The YMCA works with Hutto ISD to provide an after-school program and other events such as Friday Night Live for middle school students. Check out the Hutto Y or call 512-846-2360. The Hutto Family YMCA, strength from within.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Texas did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process. A-Plus Federal Credit Union is a longtime supporter of Hutto ISD. Earn cash back and support Hippo Nation with the student-designed A-Plus FCU Hutto ISD Hippo Debit Card. When you use your Hippo Debit Card, you and Hutto ISD both earn up to 10 cents with every purchase. Hutto ISD has received over $71,000 in cash back from A-Plus FCU members since August 2016. Stop by the Hutto branch on Ed Schmidt Boulevard to get your card and start earning today. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association. Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Texas. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Please welcome back to the field from Round Rock, Texas, the Dragons.
Welcome back to Hutto Memorial Stadium. We're at halftime between tonight's 26 5A district matchup between the Round Rock Dragons and the Hutto Hippos. Hippos trail at 21-7, and a game, Ryan, that really, you take away the two big plays that Round Rock had, a 74-yard touchdown run and a 55-yard touchdown run, and it's really a pretty even game for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually just thinking about how it seems like it's been such a slow, methodical, slow-paced game with, not a lot going on. And then you look at the scoreboard, there's been 28 points scored, and also all four scores have really come off of big plays, right? We had a 40-yard touchdown pass to Jay Lambert. Like you mentioned, they had a 74-yard touchdown run on the very first play of the game. Second play of the game, or their, I guess, fifth play of the game, was that bad snap that went over Brody's head that would turn into a touchdown. And then, in the second quarter, they got that 55-yard touchdown run. Other than that, there's not a lot of been a lot of fireworks. There's only been five third down conversions between the two teams. They've got 3 and we've got 2. Nobody's gone for it on fourth. It's been kind of a punt fest with a few big plays mixed in here and there.
Well, and we said before the game started that certainly this wind was going to play a factor, and it absolutely has in terms of field position and even offensive decisions, what you're going to do throwing the ball. And, the wind I don't think is going to let up before this game's over, so it's going to be a factor here in the second half. Coming into this, the key, I think, for the Hippos was to stop Israel Morgan for the Dragons, and they really have, except for that one 55-yard touchdown run.
Right. Yeah, they've done a really good job of bottling him up and kind of keeping everything in front of them. And like you said, just that one third down and short where you've got everybody bunched up and you just get that one crease, and all of a sudden he breaks through for 55 yards, and now we stand 21-7, about to receive the second half kickoff.
Well, good news is Hippos will get the ball to start the second half. There's that deep kick taken in the end zone. Oh, you got to bring it out now. Well, bad decision. Started to come out as up-back's telling him to hold up. Once he crossed the line, you got to come out. So probably just get out of the way, let that go.
We've had a lot of miscues on the kickoff.
I couldn't tell who was it that was bringing that out.
I'm not sure, but, we're not used to returning kicks out of the end zone. Kicks don't normally go that deep. And, yeah, just one of those things of just get out of the way and let it just go and start at your 25. But instead, the Hippos, bad field position, going to start at their own 13-yard line going against this wind, and could be a big factor right off the bat.
Silver lining, I guess he didn't go back into the end zone and try to take a knee,
safety,
right?
Yeah. So 1st and 10, ball at the 13-yard line for the Hippos. Kyron Miller in the backfield with Grayson. Handoff goes to Kyron. Powers forward across the 15 up near the 17-yard line. Yeah, Bryce, I didn't who was the man that caught the ball in the end zone? Did you tell?
Looked like number 20.
That's what I was thinking too. But that's Evan Gutierrez. It might have been Theo Anderson, number 30.
Maybe 30.
Probably was not Evan Gutierrez.
You don't
if
think
it was
Evan,
I think that might have been his last stint as a kickoff returner.
I don't think a kicker has ever returned a kick intentionally. Second down and 5. Grayson with a straight drop, gets some pressure, gets flushed. The ball's knocked out of his hands, and it's intercepted. Well, I don't know. It was going to be close whether it would have been a fumble or not, but ball pops out of Grayson's hands and into the hands of a Round Rock Dragon, and that turnover is huge as the Dragons will have it 1st and 10 inside the Hippo 20-yard line.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell where Grayson was trying to go with the ball. It looked like he was trying to dump it off, but I didn't see anybody running across, and got his hand hit. And like you said, I'm not sure if that would have been a fumble or incomplete, but it didn't matter because number 42, Jet Jones, was right there to catch the ball in the air. And, boy, exactly what you didn't need to happen to start this second half.
Nope. So the Dragons are going to start 1st and 10 inside the Hippo 20, and there's that mistake on the kickoff right there contributes to where the Dragons are set up right now.
Yeah, I think that one just came out of his hand, not looking for anybody to throw it to, just trying to scramble and got hit.
That's kind of what I thought. I thought it was a fumble probably more than an interception. Boy, back is really against the wall for the Hippo defense right here. You got to try to come up with your own turnover or anything you can to keep them out of the end zone. Morgan in the backfield. Ford hands off to him, goes right. He's stuck after about 2 yards. Down to the 16-yard line.
You know, and one thing that we've seen a lot of tonight that has kind of been missing the first few weeks is multiple guys there making the tackle at once and kind of team tackling, right? So first guy's going low, and you're playing a big back like this. First guy's going low, and the second guy's there to clean it up, and that's been almost every tackle. I don't know if we've had any solo tackles tonight. You know, it's been a lot of good, solid team effort with the defensive line and even the safeties coming up to making those plays.
Second down and 9. Morgan in the backfield. Going to swing it to him out of the backfield. Pass incomplete. Ford had some pressure on him, and Morgan, even if he had caught that, he had a couple of Hippos waiting to.
Yeah, I think that was a business decision to not go and try to catch that one.
So a huge third down opportunity for the Hippo defense to get a stop here. Third down and 9 yards needed. Ball's at the 18-yard line, 17-yard line.
And
you can hold them to a field goal
attempt.
attempt.
I was going to say, they have kicked 3 field goals this year, and they've made 2 of those 3. Long of 32, so this would be their longest if they didn't get any yards here.
Little option left side. Ford's going to keep it at the 15, inside the 15 to the 13. Going to be well short of the first down. Now, yeah, let's see if the Dragons decide to run their field goal team.
Boy, I would.
I would think so. Yeah, and they are.
So here's the thing, though. You got to be careful of the snap getting back there.
True.
You know, again, you got the wind at your back, but that means you're snapping into the wind, and we've had some issues on both sides with a left-footed kicker.
Garrett Kalinowski, the kicker for the Dragons.
Kind of a tough angle, too.
Yeah. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. I thought he maybe pushed it a little bit.
I thought he pushed it left.
Yep.
Well, that's I'd say that's a win for the defense.
Absolutely, for the defense. Just offense can't keep putting them in that position. We'll keep it here. 10:15 to go in the third quarter. Hippos trailing 24-7, and yeah, I mean you've just got to make from this point on. You're down 24-7 in a game that you easily could be tied. You can't let yourself get down, and you have to realize you still have basically a whole second half to play this game. Your defense is doing a good job. Offense has just got to find a way to get some points.
Well, and one thing that I'm looking for, and I'm sure that the coaches have noticed this too, but and I think Bryce actually touched on this earlier, but the body language that I'm seeing, especially by a lot of these receivers, it's not good. You know, there's a lot of finger pointing and blaming and hands kind of up in the air, and nobody seems to really know what's going on or want to take the blame for anything, and nobody's stepping up and taking charge. And
yeah, and you're basically halfway into your season at this point, right? I mean, you played a scrimmage and 3 games. You're in effect, your 5th game, and everybody has to kind of know what page everybody's on. There's another deep kick.
Including the returner.
And that time, smart. Just get out of the way, let it go in the end zone, and bring it out to the 25, which is where the Hippos will start. Give a shout out to my mother, your grandmother in Wichita Falls, one of our many loyal listeners. She tuned in. I think she missed the first half, so she maybe didn't miss a lot.
Well,
see if she can change our fortunes.
Yeah.
Something missing, right now with the Hutto offense is just don't have anybody with the breakaway speed.
No, we need to get Banks back, don't we?
Get Banks back. Then you have somebody kind of like what you had in Dejon Harrison last year, just a game changer. And right now, we just don't have it.
Snap back to Grayson. Quick pass. Complete to Sean
Maybe
Davis.
we do.
He's at midfield. He's at the 45-40. They got an angle on him and running out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Maybe this will be the second half of the Waco game, Sean Davis, who turned that switch in that Waco game. And
maybe Sean said, we didn't have a game changer, and he proved me wrong. So
he heard you.
Thanks, number 9.
Well, you did say breakaway, and he didn't break all the way away, so
I'll take what we got there.
So first down all the way down to the 17-yard line. And dragging into the field, they're going to spot it back actually at the 18. Snap back, hand off to Kyron Miller. Takes it forward for about a yard or two. Second down, ball at the 16. Well, if you're the Hippos, after that big play, you have to come away with points, right?
Well, you do,
and
you need the
touchdown variety is really what you need.
Well,
but
you definitely don't want to try to settle for a field goal into this wind either, so I think this is probably 4-down territory the whole way.
Hand off to Miller, starts left, tries to bounce it back right. He's got a little bit of an angle, and then he's going to be wrapped up before he can get past a couple of Dragon defenders.
Yeah, never could find that edge. He had a couple blockers out there, but never found that edge and kept trying to bounce it, and never got it.
Yeah, Miller's not going to make a living going east and west.
No,
He's got to go north-south, and they just strung him out, did a good job.
So 3rd down and 9 for the Hippos. It's good to see Jay Lambert out there. He took a kind of a big hit early in the first half, but he's back out there. Snap back to Doggett. Straight drop, looking over the middle. Had a man, Gary Choice, at about the 5-yard line, and she couldn't quite connect with him.
Yeah, it looked like he was running kind of a corner post, so he faked outside and then turned it back inside, and Grayson had him kind of between two men and had to fit it a little bit low to get it out of the reach, and ultimately put it out of the reach of his receiver.
Just a stretch trying to complete passes like that into this wind down here.
It really is, and like Ryan said, you really can't kick a field goal here into this wind, so the Hippos are going to have to go for this. 4th down and 9. Snap back. Grayson steps up, and boy, it looked like a little bit of early contact. No flag. Intended for Sean Davis. Probably would have been short of the first down anyway.
Yeah.
You got to throw something like that to the end zone and see what you get, and if they intercept it there.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah, like I said, that wouldn't even have been a first down had he come away with it.
And that's one that, boy.
Well,
like you said, you've got to be able to come away with that, and we've seen them have the issues in the red zone all season, and that's something that's going to come back to bite you, and we're seeing it right now.
You had a chance to grab a little bit of momentum and flip it over to your side after the big play to Sean Davis. Instead, the Dragons hold him. Hand off to Israel Morgan, runs it out of bounds after about 11 yards. Going to be a first down. Yeah, I mean, that was a potential momentum changer there.
Yep.
Hippos couldn't capitalize, and now you throw your defense back out there and tell them they have to make another stop.
And that's what happens is eventually your defense starts to lose confidence in your offense, which makes them lose confidence in themselves, and that's why it's a team game.
1st and 10 for the Dragons at the 28-yard line. Ford going to keep it. He hasn't kept it very much tonight.
Hadn't needed to.
No. Moves it forward to the 32-yard line.
Round Rock's offense just really doesn't give the defense a chance to make like a great, don't throw the ball a lot. So, you're not going to have that pick six. I mean, best we can do is have Ryan dial up another fumble.
Yeah, right.
Let us get it.
Ryan alluded earlier to Colin Klein from Kansas State, and Ford kind of was like him, but really their whole offense kind of reminds me of Kansas State.
We need a Landon Watson scoop and score.
That would be nice. Handoff goes to Morgan. Crosses the 35 to the 36, going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. So a big 3rd down play right here.
Here's that same situation that we've been in so often already tonight, is that 3rd and short, and seems like we've come up on the good end of that more often than not, except for that one big busted play. And
yeah, you just can't let them bust it up the middle.
No, you got to get low and try to bust it up early. And don't jump off sides.
Israel Morgan in the backfield with Seth Ford. Probably one of these two is going to have the ball. Handoff goes to Morgan. Great job by the Hippo defense to stuff him at the line of scrimmage. Maybe even lost a yard back to the 35.
Zane Bolding.
Boy, he popped some pads there, and like we were talking about last week, he's not the biggest guy on the field, but he's got the biggest heart.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
Give me a team of Zane Boldings.
Boy, no kidding.
So good job by the Hippo defense, and they'll force the punt.
They would
see if we
look
can get a
really
return
cool.
here.
I'd take one of those snaps over the head. Yeah, a team of Zane Boldings would look really cool, wouldn't they? They'd all play guitar. They'd have a band. Wow.
Wow, what a punt.
Booming punt. Fair caught. Good job to fair catch that at the 22. Right, or Bryce, it's like you said earlier, there was a time in our Hippo history that we would just let those punts bounce and probably be killed at about the 3 yard
for sure.
line.
And I think a punt returner in Gary Choice, because that one, I don't think I'd want.
That's a tough one to try to field.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's had a few tough catches tonight.
Well,
he's reeled them all in.
You have to have somebody be able to do that to help change that field position game, right? So 1st and 10 for the Hippos at their own 23-yard line, trailing 24-7 with 6:30 to go in the third quarter, and they're going to move themselves back.
Well, and that's one of those where I think the defense is up there saying
Barking,
shift,
yep.
and there's kind of a fine line. I think they're talking about it, whether or not they were trying to emulate the snap, and they might actually call this on Round Rock.
I think you're right. Well, you don't see it called very often, but I always think it's funny that the penalty for that is delay a game
right.
against the defense.
Well, it does delay the game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, every penalty should be a delay of game.
Right, exactly.
He did say imitating signal.
Should be a unsportsmanlike conduct.
It should.
So 1st down and 5 after the 5-yard march off up to the 28-yard line. The offense needs to you've got to go get points here. Grayson straight drop, pass over the middle is a little too high, intended for Gary Choice.
Yeah, and he had some space to run after he caught that. And he had some, I think he had Damian Jones up at the top, who could have been a good blocker for him on that dig route, and just a little bit too high. And, boy, that's one that we've seen early on in this game that's gotten picked off. So I guess good thing that he threw it over Gary Choice. Which,
you watch that Round Rock defense, and, man, they stack a bunch of guys in there tight.
Bunch of big guys.
Yeah, they do. Hand off to Kyron Miller. Pushes forward.
Yeah, this one's coming
back.
back.
Flag late. Kyron had it up to about the 32. It was going to be about a yard short. But instead, we're going to have a holding call, and the Hippos just shoot themselves in the foot again.
Put another screen out to this outside. Get it to Gary and let Sean block, and that seemed to be the most successful play we've had.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're struggling to try to get the ball downfield to the hands of our playmakers. So get it, like you said, just get it into our playmakers' hands, short, and let them try to make plays.
Well, which is what we've done the past few years, and just haven't seen that this year. I guess maybe we don't have the playmakers we've had.
2nd down and 15. Grayson fakes a handoff, rolls to his left. Pass intended for Sean Davis at the 29-yard line, and tight coverage by the Dragons.
It is, and I think that one hit Sean in the hands. And, it seems like we say it every week again, but they've got to start helping Grayson out with these so many balls just hitting these guys in the hands. And they're not all perfect passes, but they're receivers, and they got gloves, and they got good hands. Yeah,
sure.
It's a two-way street.
So 3rd down and 15, and again, you're dealing with this field position game where you're going against the strong wind, and if you can't pick up 15 yards right here, you're going to have to punt it into this wind.
Fake a screen, throw deep.
Grayson over the middle, intended for Jay Lambert, too high for him. He had Damian Jones kind of behind him, and it just falls between the two of them.
Yeah, two guys in the same spot. You never want that as a receiving core. And yeah, I'm not sure if he was trying to go, if he went long to Jay or if he went short to Damian. And again, just can't figure out the communication from quarterback to receiver.
So Brody stands at his 6-yard line, ready to punt. It's a low punt, fair caught at midfield by the Dragons. So Again, I said before this game started, wind was really going to play a factor in this game, and I don't think there's any question it has in terms of where teams have started their possessions.
Yeah, well, and the unfortunate thing is we gave up those 14 points when we had the wind at our backs, so that's tough to come back from.
Give you a World Series update here in just a second.
I know there was a no-hitter going through 4.
I don't think
Yeah, I saw that
is.
posted up on the scoreboard earlier. I was like, well, we just jinxed that.
I know, right? You can't do that. Oh, swinging a pass out of the backfield and all the way up to the 40-yard lines, number 8, William Lane.
Oh, and it's that same play. They line William
line
Lane
him
up
up
as a fullback,
right.
and they run that bootleg, and we just don't have anybody coming
Nobody's
across
home.
the formation to cover him. And they were not set either.
First
Good
and
play. It was that Junior Torres got in underneath and tripped him up. That was a good play because he had a lot of running room there.
Yeah, he did. No gain for number 14, Travian McCoy-Gay. Second down and 10. 5:25 to go in the third quarter. Hippos trailing 24-7, and just waiting for a big play by the Hippos to try to get back in this thing. Snap back to Ford. Heavy pressure, and he's going to be brought down.
Put that ball
He did
ground.
almost put that ball on the ground.
That was Braylon coming around that backside.
Braylon.
he tried to step up, and he grabbed him by the blade of his shoulder pad and decided he wasn't going anywhere.
Brody was there to kind of clean it up as well. So third down and long for the Dragons all the way back to the 48-yard line.
Well, and last time they were in this position, they threw a screen pass and gained about 10 yards, and I'd look for them to do the exact same thing here.
Yep. They have liked the screen. Run a little option play to the left side, and that does nothing. Jacoby Duncan on the tackle.
Yeah, that was well played. Tried to run a speed option out to the left side, and they didn't have anybody blocking out there, and we had four defenders there to stop it. And boy, here once again, same old story. The offense puts the defense in a bad position, and they step up.
So fourth down and about 18 yards to go. And the Dragons will punt. Just need something big to happen. A bad snap, a blocked punt. Look how bad. He really takes a big drop back there, doesn't he? There's a bad snap. And just a booming punt into the
from his 40-yard line all
Hippos.
the way halfway into the end zone.
Holy cow.
That was a leg.
Well, he got the bad snap that we wanted, but he fielded it cleanly. So top of the 6th inning, here's your World Series update. Top of the 6th, Dodgers 5, Rays 1. That one's kind of a surprise that it's that high scoring for the Dodgers. Rays were rolling their ace out there, weren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, they were, and that's like you said, Todd. That's 5 runs, man. That's getting after them.
Yeah. Hand off to Kyron Miller, gets nothing at the 20-yard line.
It just almost feels like we're hanging on to get to that fourth quarter at this point, right?
Yeah,
it's like
but
don't let the lead. But
you got to get a score in the
have
third
to.
because you just might not have enough possessions in the fourth. Haven't been able to sustain a drive.
And haven't seen a whole lot of creativity, and I know a lot of that's probably due to the wind, but really
Right.
it seems like we're running 3 plays, right? We're running up the middle, screen left, screen right.
There's up the middle. Kyron Miller pushes it up to the 23-yard line, pick up a 3, and once again it's going to be a
that gets us a third down, and so here comes a comeback route.
You sound like Hayden and I at halftime.
Be careful. Third down and 7 needed.
It's tough, because you can't really do much into this wind. I mean,
Right.
you can't go deep. The field is so condensed.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely
Your plays are limited
limits
for
your
sure.
play
Well, he's
call.
rolling out to his right.
Straight drop, actually. Now rolling to his right. He's got a man, and
There we
it's
go.
caught. Good job by Grayson to find Gary Choice at the 35-yard line.
Well,
for
and a
the
good job
first
there
down.
by Gary settling down in that zone, too. He was in the middle of the field and saw there was nobody to his left, and he just drifted, and Grayson found him.
I thought Grayson was just going to dump it out of the back. Intended for Jay Lambert. Well, looked like number 23 had a handful of Jay's jersey. Trey Martin or Marin had a
I'll tell you.
Again, you got to reel that in if you're Jay.
If 5 gets his hands on it, it's being caught. Gary
Right.
Choice has a good set of hands.
second down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Hand off to Chiron. Up the middle, bounces outside and breaks a couple of tackles, spins out of another one and takes it all the way up to midfield. So Chiron looked like he was going to be stopped for basically no gain and able to navigate almost 15 yards out of that. First and 10, midfield for the Hippos. Hand off to Chiron. Goes middle, bounces it back out to the left, picks up a couple.
Well, and this kind of has a similar feel to the drive that we had in the second quarter right before that interception. You know, Chiron gets going and just keep feeding him. If it, you know, he's hot right now and he's finding those holes. He's running very patient.
Yeah, we had that good drive going and then probably got just a little greedy with the play call. Chiron bounces it outside. There's the stiff arm. Nice tackle by number 4, Davion Finch, to bring him down at the 45-yard line. I was looking for that stiff arm to push Davion Finch to the ground.
Tell you, I wouldn't mind seeing a little jet sweep or something with Gary Choice. I mean, we use his speed side to side.
We've said that. Just get it into the playmaker's hands, right? See what can happen. Three receivers right. One man in the backfield with Grayson, one receiver left. Straight drop, heavy pressure, throwing over the middle, and tip, deflected, intercepted. Intended for Gary Choice at the 35-yard line, off his hands, and there was a dragon to pick up the deflection. I tell you, seems like every interception they've had has been a deflection.
I think you're right. Well,
it's all just so close.
And it is, and it's again like we say this every week, right? It's these contagious drops, and the receivers start seeing their friends drop the ball, and their buddies are dropping the ball, and it gets in their heads too. And boy, it's just that's a tough battle.
And off to Israel Morgan. He is buried behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration by that Hippo defense. Flags.
Get a hold.
22, Morgan, the ball carrier.
One flag's over on the far sideline, about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And then 2 flags over here, near side. We're at 59 seconds to go in the third quarter. Hippos trailing 24-7, and again had a drive that looked like they were going to be able to do something there, and just a deflected interception. See what this penalty call is.
We have 3 fouls.
3 fouls.
Oh my.
All on the offense.
Illegal formation.
Illegal formation.
5 in the backfield. Substitution infraction of being flagged.
Substitution infraction and a hold.
Number 50 in the offense will be accepted. 10 yards.
Not sure.
How often do you see that?
I was about to say, I'm not sure I've ever seen 3 penalties.
Well, and all against
different
the same
penalties
team,
against
right?
the same team.
Usually,
that takes some work there.
that's
That's
well coordinated.
That's a lot of eyes by those officials, all looking at different spots. So a 10-yard penalty moves it back. First and 10, ball at the 23-yard line.
Well, we tackled him for a loss of 4. I think Brad might want to decline this.
I think if you have 3 penalties against you, all 3 different penalties, the other team should get to pick 2 of the 3. Right? You should only have 1 that you don't get enforced against you.
Yeah, I think we are going to decline this.
Correction. All 3 fouls were declined.
And then how often do you get 3 fouls against get 3 penalties and then you decline all 3 of them? Oh, they're not spotting the ball right.
I was going to say, they should have been a loss. I mean, we're not
it was a loss of like 4 yards.
Yeah,
No, this is not right.
Yeah, Coach LaPlante.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, the official has to go, yeah, Coach. Well, you're not dumb. You're not dumb. You wouldn't decline 3 penalties, and I still think it's a bad spot. They mark it at the 30. I feel like he was tackled more like the 28. Second down and 13. That's one of those tough calls. Ford with a straight drop, throwing left side deep. It is. Oh! In and out of the hands of Joseph Teagle.
Boy, and there was that big play, game-changing defensive play that we needed. And, in and out of his hands.
Well, I think the drops by the receivers is contagious on the defensive backside too, right?
I think we need to spend about 3.5 hours next week just catching footballs. Or buy some new gloves.
Catch little footballs and then work your way up to the big ones. Who was it used to always catch tennis balls?
A lot of people.
Third down. I think Hippos are going to get offsides.
I think we're offside.
It's going to be could have been intercepted. It was dropped, but I think it wouldn't have mattered because it's going to be offsides on the Hippos.
Landon.
Yep, Landon. Good news is it still is going to be
Still
third down
and
and 8.
Would have been 4th and 13.
Yep.
And I like that better than 3rd and 8.
I think this might be your screen pass right here.
I don't know. I think they might just hand this ball off.
Straight drop by Ford. Now rolling to his right. Heavy pressure. He's just going to throw that one to the track. Trying to complete it to the Gatorade bottles that are on the track. Comes up just a little short.
It was pretty well covered. Well covered and, I mean, well blocked. Just kind of a dud of a play.
Credit to the Hippo defense again.
Yeah.
They've done a fantastic job tonight, except for 2 big plays. Ford with the big punt. Oh. The time we bragged on Gary too much, didn't we? No, that's okay for him to do that. I'm surprised more people don't do that because you can go in and pick that ball up and it's.
Well, that was the one that you probably think he could have.
He
could have returned that one, but.
Well, that ball it came down really funny. It was kind of almost backing up, just a one.
So Hippos will start 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Sure, they'd like to just burn 20.
Right.
Yeah, right. You wonder, I mean, I can't imagine Round Rock will use their timeouts to try to keep the ball down here against the wind, Hippos against the wind. Hand off to Chiron, no gain, and yeah, I'm sure they're going to let that tick off.
I would imagine so.
Flip the field and get that wind at your back for the 4th quarter and see if you can do some magical things.
Get your work cut out for you here.
So we've reached the end of 3 here at Hutto Memorial Stadium. It's Round Rock 24, Hutto 7. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
ACDI, Al Clausen Disposal supports the Hippo Nation. ACDI is a locally owned family company that specializes in solid waste services, including residential, recycling, commercial, and roll-off. Al Clausen Disposal has grown into a top 100 ranked corporation. Their mission is simple. They're committed to providing safe, reliable, and environmentally sound waste solutions at cost-effective rates while embracing new ideas to reduce the carbon footprint. Al Clausen Disposal, your local choice for all your collection and disposal needs. ACDI says go Hippos!
Played 3 quarters here at Hutto Memorial Stadium. Get ready to start the 4th. Hippos will have this strong wind at their back, and they're going to need every bit of it, trailing 24-7 in a game that, I tell you, when this one's all said and done, if they don't come back and win this, they're just going to probably view this one as a very frustrating football game.
Yeah, frustrating and kind of a poorly timed game in terms of when you're allowing scores and when you're scoring. I mean, just didn't really take advantage of any of the opportunities that we've had so far. And we'll see if we can get this turned around and see if we can get a 17-point fourth quarter with the win. But, boy.
2nd down and 9. Handoff to Kyron Miller. Starts left, turns it back up. Picks up about a yard. And probably you're going to, despite the struggles of passing and catching tonight, you're in a situation where you're just really kind of going to have to keep the ball in the air most of the time. And the runs on 2nd down and 9 probably aren't going to do you a whole lot of good. So 3rd down and 9, ball at the 22. You're not going to have very many possessions.
I think you got to look to Jay Lambert right here.
Snap back to Grayson. No rush. And ball is thrown short, incomplete.
Yeah.
Well, Grayson threw to a spot, and Jay just never.
Again, just the communication. He was waiting for him to turn back around, and he just kept going.
Receiver knew where it was going.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just don't.
So Brody Bueno will punt.
And here's where you got to be careful. It's the exact same part of the field that we were punting from in the first quarter when we had that bad snap. Well, and it looks like we've actually got Gabe Lozano is back as the deep snapper now. So it's no longer Carson Forrest.
Oh, bounced back. Brody picks it up. Line drive kick. Kicks at the 45-yard line. Takes a big hippo bounce inside the 30. Going to continue rolling. Don't kill it yet, guys. Let it just keep rolling. And finally it'll be killed at the 21-yard line. Nice punt by Brody. Well, here's been the possessions of the second half. Both teams combined: fumble, field goal, over on downs, punt, interception, punt. So
it's been an ugly second half.
A lot of defense.
Yeah.
Round Rock will take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. 11:01 to go. If you're the Hippo defense, you got to make something happen, right? I mean, they've done a great job all night, but now you got to get a turnover. You had 6 of them last week against McNeil. There's a Morgan.
Well, you do, and
good job by Braylon Sugg to bring him down from the by the horse collar.
As Bryce mentioned earlier, though, it's so hard with a team like Round Rock because all they do is run the ball, and they just play such a safe style of football that it's. I mean, you got to really be cognizant of punching for that ball and trying to strip it.
Yeah. Of course, Bryce mentioned that they've put the ball on the ground. Just not tonight.
Yeah.
And off to Morgan. Bust through on that right side, trying to get outside. Good job by Anthony Martinez to kind of force him out, but not until he had that first down at the 32-yard line.
Well, and the Dragons obviously are just content to just
pound the ball.
Slow, methodical possession here.
I mean, they're just
no
the
hurry.
more time they take, the less time the Hippos have to try to get back in it.
Well, and at some point you got to start thinking it's all 4-down territory for Hippos.
Sure. Ford going to keep swallowed up for a loss of about 2 yards. Good pressure by the Hippo defenders
well
there.
Played. Looked like
Braylon Sugg.
I think he finished it, and like Junior Torres and Breland Davis both got back there to kind of stuff it and force him into the other direction and force him back towards Braylon.
2nd down and 12, ball at the 30. 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Hippos trailing 24-7. When you're the defense, you're so frustrated too because you're making stops and that clock keeps going.
And you look at the scoreboard and you haven't played a 24-point defensive performance.
Right.
You know, you've played very well.
Put a man in motion from right to left and hit hard is number 6, Mason Schuler, before he can turn it up. Theo Anderson.
Yep, and the pads are still popping.
So 3rd down and 13, 9:25. You know, this is a place where you never see coaches do this, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to call a timeout right here because you're 3rd down and certainly if you hold them here to 4th down, I think you got to use one, right? I mean, otherwise you're letting them run off a whole minute.
Extra 40 seconds. Yeah, that's it's tough because you know you're going to need them at some point later because you're not going to recover 3 onside kicks.
No, but
so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Little inside handoff to Morgan. Good job by the Hippos. Tackled at the 35-yard line. Yeah, like, why not use one right here? It's 4th down, and you know they're going to punt.
Right.
You should get pretty good field position punting into this win, but instead they're going to be able to burn about 30 seconds off of this.
I don't understand as a Round Rock player or Round Rock coach, why are you not lining up in that pooch punt position every single time?
Right.
Why allow us to put a man back there? I don't understand that.
Choice stands at his 35. Boy, that ball just dies, doesn't it? Kicks at the 35 and going to die at the 35. 8:03 to go in the ball game. Hippos trailing 24-7, and now they're in an obviously must score every time you get the ball at this point.
And that kind of changes your play calling, right? You're telling your offensive coordinator, you're saying, hey, look, we got 4 downs every time. So
right.
Whatever that
and you don't
means.
have to be deep passes.
You've got time, and obviously, especially when high school, clock stops on the 1st down, clock stops on out of bounds, and you've got a lot of options and a lot of time. You just have to be smart about it and execute. That's and catch passes. I mean, if you don't catch the ball, none of it matters.
Right. All right, 1st down of what becomes incredibly important possessions. Throwing deep. Boy, looked like had some hands.
Yeah, and
on Damian Jones as he tried
did,
to break free.
But Damian didn't do a very good job of selling that either. I mean, if he looks back and maybe tries to play that ball, he almost forces the hand of the official and forces him to throw that. But I don't know if he was ready for that ball either.
No, never put his hands out, and it wasn't that far off.
Right. So 2nd down and 10. Snap back, hand off to Kyron Miller.
Oh.
Gets ankle tackled by number 94, Luke Dodds.
That was a great play.
Before he could turn it up. Yeah, he had a little bit of room to run, but Dodds was able to grab him by the ankles.
And Miller hobbling off. He's hurt. Definitely don't want to see that.
No.
Shoot, he might be tired.
Yeah.
I would be.
It's just one of those it's one of those nights where it hasn't been a bad game by the Hippos, certainly not by their defense. Defense is playing fantastic, but it's just there's been nothing really good.
Successful, no.
It's just
right, nothing to really get excited about.
Nothing to get excited about, but at the same time, nothing to go, wow, we're, way overmatched by the largest 6A team in the Austin area, because we're not. So 3rd down, 7 yards needed. Grayson swings it left side. It's got a man, Sean Davis, at midfield, crosses midfield and brought down at the 47-yard line. Good hands by Sean to go up and get that one.
And he secured that one. He was not going to drop that.
1st and 10, ball at the 47. Quick pass to
Carson Forrest.
Pickup of about 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and 5. Call it 4. Now, and come back with a little handoff.
Why?
Yeah, handoff to Dejon Higgins, and you lose about 3 of the 6 you had gained previously.
They were ready for that. It says 2nd down.
It should be 3rd, shouldn't it?
That's what I was thinking.
It's a pass. Oh, another one deflected up into the air, intercepted, and this one's going to probably be returned all the way for a Dragon touchdown, and it is.
Another one right off the hands of the receiver. I mean, a perfect pass. Right in the hands, through the hands, in the helmet. And
into the air and returned all the way for the Dragon touchdown. 6:26 to go, and that one is probably the nail in the coffin for the Hippos.
Yeah, well, and that's just kind of been the story of the night, right? It's the missed opportunities, the lack of execution, the lack of catching the football, and wrong place, wrong time, right place, right time for Round Rock, and
Snap back, hold down, kick up is good. 6:26 to go in the ball game. It's now Round Rock 31, Hutto 7. You're listening to Hutto Hippo Football on SHN Sports.
Hutto Family Eye Care has partnered with Hutto ISD for almost 10 years. Hutto Family Eye Care has been the leader and preferred provider of quality vision care products and personalized service to patients in Hutto. Their doctors use only the most advanced, state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. Give your vision the level of care and attention it deserves. Hutto Family Eye Care on Exchange Boulevard, across the street from the post office.
6:26 to go in the ball game, and the Hippos now trail at 31-7 after the pick six by the Dragons. Some scores from around District: Vista Ridge up on Cedar Ridge, 38-17 in the Battle of the Ridges, and Vandergrift all over McNeil, 49-0. That one's a final. Vandergrift's going to be tough.
Yeah,
for anybody to knock off.
They are. But we're no strangers to having one tough opponent in district.
Boy.
I think we've got more than one this year.
We got more than one, and of course, we should be considered a tough opponent for most of the schools we play.
Well, not if you don't catch a football.
But yeah, you got to do the fundamental things. There's a ball that, boy, that one kickoff bounces into no man's land, but fortunately kicks out of bounds. You know, our former district, some scores from that one. You've got Weiss leading Leander 56-21. So
good.
Looks like Coach Van's going to get his first district win. Georgetown up on Hendrickson 37-33 with 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes to go in that ball game. That's a shootout.
Wow. It's probably a fun one to be at. Where are they playing that?
Georgetown. Pflugerville beat Manor last night 32-31, and then
another fun one.
What's the
Cedar
you got
Park.
a LBJ Lampasas? I was interested in that tonight. It was close at half.
Whoa,
let me tell you the Cedar Park Anderson score first.
A halftime score of that one, it wasn't pretty.
Well, the final score is, assuming this is right, and I
sure
know sometimes people mess up these things. Well, the final score on the Friday night thing is Anderson 0, Cedar Park 82.
Let's see what we can find on Twitter.
It was 58-0 at half,
so
that's probably pretty close.
Yeah, 82-0, Cedar Park. Ouch. Cedar Park's good this year. Very. So after the kick out of bounds, the Hippos are going to make the Dragons kick it again from the 35. Should get really good field position out of this. Kicking it deep into that wind. Oh, get on it. The 25, a little bit of room. 35, 40. Got 45 midfield, turns it back inside 40, and finally brought down inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line.
Well, and
number 17, Damian Jones. I said we should get good field position out of this.
Yeah, that was a good call. And that's the returning and speed capabilities that we've known about all year. That's the first time we've gotten to see Damian in action returning something like that. And there you go. That's maybe a little bit too late, but hey, you never know.
You gotta have things to build on, right?
Yes, you do.
That's the thing I keep saying. It's not an all negative game here despite the score, especially from the defense. Kyron Miller. Yeah, I think Kyron just doesn't, whatever he tweaked earlier, he's not right there. He just didn't seem to be running like his normal self, so he's going to step back out after no gain. Higgins replaces him in the backfield. but you really don't have time to be running the ball.
Well, when out of bounds, you do.
Second down and 11, 6:10 to go. Snap back to Grayson. Heavy pressure coming, now flushed right side, going to throw it out of bounds. And did he get it back to the line of scrimmage?
Well, he had Carson
have a
Forrest
receiver?
right there, yeah. So it's not going to matter. But, you know, he tried to step up in the pocket, and after about one step, just – what did he say? Okay. Yeah. Tried to step up, and after about one step, decided a little too congested in there, and let's throw this one away.
So third down and 11, ball at the 24-yard line. Obviously 4-down territory. Heavy pressure on Grayson. Gets away from somebody. Tells his receiver to go deep. Boy, there's got to be an interference.
Yeah, we're going to get
there
a holding.
Flag comes. Pass intended for Jay Lambert. Grayson was trying to tell his receiver to go deep. Jay kind of cut it short, and Grayson threw it towards him, and going to have a interference or holding against the defense. Good news is that stops the clock, 5:57 to go.
Delay game.
Chris Elquist said he thinks that Cedar Park score is correct.
Well, if it was 59-0 at halftime,
Yeah.
it seems pretty plausible.
Yeah,
Wonder how they got 23, maybe a safety.
I don't know. I think they got something special going on in Cedar Park this year.
No kidding.
So first down after the defensive holding call, ball at the 14-yard line and Dragon territory. Hippos have three receivers left side, single receiver. Damian Jones right side, which is the short side of the field.
Three receivers left and only two defensive backs.
Trying to throw. Oh.
And we throw a screen.
Well, he thought Damian was going to run corner route, and Damian cut his route short. So, again, just.
Story of this season.
Yeah.
Miscommunication. Well, and again, when you've got three receivers left and you've got only two.
Bryce, is it a kind of a giving each other a signal and somebody not picking up the signal, a change at the line of scrimmage, or?
Yeah, a lot of times it's a hand signal to each other, but I'm really not picking up on that right now.
Here's a pass left corner, just overthrown, intended for Jay Lambert.
Well, and if anybody would have good communication, you would think it would be Grayson and Damian, having been played together for, what, 6-7 years now?
Yeah, I've played together since, 7th grade, and, but Friday nights are a little different. This is first year on Friday nights for Damian.
Yeah.
And moves a little.
Yeah, the pace is a little faster. So third down and 10. Jay starts in motion, now stops. Now they put him in motion from left to right, and I think the Hippos are going to call a timeout. Just, again, confusion. Well, you almost had two men in motion.
And, again, not that it's probably going to matter at this point, but you really you don't want to have to use a timeout there, right? With the clock is stopped, you're going to want those later on, and you've got to get that communication figured out. And I don't know if it's a too complex of a play calling or if it's guys just seeing different things and just really not on the same page, and maybe the terminology is different. I don't know what it could be, but
looked like there was confusion on what sideline was hand signaling in. And
Yeah, and obviously none of us know what they do in practice, all that, but I don't know. Maybe, sometimes you have to simplify, right? And maybe they're going to have to take a look at simplifying some things. Pure speculating on our part. Third down and 10 after the timeout, 5:49 to go. Spread two receivers far left. to right. Looking to swing a pass maybe out of the backfield. This one to Jay Lambert. Tackled after no gain. I thought they were going to maybe swing it to Kyron
yeah, he had
on
a lot
the
of
other
space.
side. Yeah, it never really looked that way. But, yeah, Kyron, if he had swung it.
I'm sure that he was probably more of a decoy. And, boy, are we sending out the field goal unit?
Well, I mean, I guess
just get some extra work in.
Well,
no, if we're down by 24.
True. You've got
you need three
touchdowns.
I think at this point it's
3
a
2-point conversions.
Let's see if we can get the execution down and using this as a practicing moment. Because you're still down 3 scores even after a field goal. So
true. Snap back, hold down. Kick is blocked. Picked up by the Dragons. Return to the 43-yard line, 44-yard line, and Hutto into the field.
Flag come in late.
Let's see what this one. Probably after the block, maybe a block in the back or a hold.
Blindside block, maybe. I think you're right. I think it's going to be on us. Yep.
Right. So, Round Rock will take over.
Yeah,
at the 10-yard line.
We're not getting field goals off. It's just a bad night.
Yeah, I think at this point we just need this 4:53 to go ahead and tick off the clock and start getting ready for Stony Point next a week from tomorrow.
And you got an extra day to prepare for them, and obviously they're playing on a Monday, so they've got only 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of schedule, it couldn't have worked out better, right?
Yeah.
Stony Point has to play Monday because of some COVID delays or postponements, and then they're going to turn around and have to play us again on next Saturday night. Well, there's number 14, Travion McCoy-Gay, breaking loose across the 20-yard line.
We got a flag down in the backfield. Which, if you're Round Rock, it's not necessarily the worst thing. You're going to lose 5 yards off of this, but the clock's going to keep running. You get first down again. Yep. Kind of like last year, was it the Titans when they were playing the Patriots and they ran, I think, 3 minutes off of the clock without snapping the ball?
Yeah, just with penalties.
Yep.
That they were taking on purpose.
Yep.
Smart.
Well, did you see what Mike Vrabel did this past week? He so it was 2nd down and 1. They were, I believe that they were down. They were down by 1 point, and it was 2nd down and 1 with maybe about 3 minutes left. And instead of letting they were playing Houston, instead of letting Houston run a play,
handoff goes to Morgan. Wow, he's got some room.
Oh boy!
Bounces outside.
Another flag.
Now cuts it back inside to the 25.
So instead of letting Houston run a play, Vrabel sends a 12th man out there and then starts making a big deal about it like he's mad, to get the officials' attention, get them counting. They call the flag, or they call the penalty, gives the Texans automatic first down. So instead of being able to run potentially 3 more plays that would have run 3 more plays worth of clock off, they get a first down that puts them at the 10-yard line. Now they can only run 3 plays before they score a touchdown.
Right.
Potentially saved about a minute and a half, and they scored with 4 seconds left to tie that game.
Wow.
So
he's smart.
He is smart. Well, he's been around another smart guy for a long time.
So another holding.
Well, again, not all bad. Now they have 1st and 8, and they've gotten 2 plays off.
They've run a lot of time off the clock.
Which, hey, at this point, I think both sides are happy with that.
Yeah, I think it's Hippos are going to have some probably hard conversations starting tomorrow, and I don't necessarily mean with coaches coaches to players. I'm talking about players to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Some leaders are going to have to step up. And
well, there's not a real team identity right now. You know, in the past, you knew exactly what you were going to get with Hutto when you can watch them play, and right now you don't really know what to expect or what team's going to show up. And we've mentioned it so many times already, but at some point it stops becoming an excuse, right? It's like you said, it's the 5th game. These guys are not first-time varsity players at this point. They've been around, and we've got another flag. Too many men in the backfield.
Was it, or is it going to be up? Offside. Yeah, the Hippos are going to get a flag right there. Just not smart. You know, you had them stopped, and you had a penalty probably against them unless that was going to be offsides against us. And when you're kind of fighting there at the end, you just got to let go. You can't take that last
I didn't see who that was.
I think it was Joseph Teagle, number 3. He was kind of tangled up with a dragon, and you just got to kind of take your hands off.
Yeah, well, you got to keep your composure, and if nothing else, sounds stupid. Don't throw a punch. I mean, don't do something that's going to get you ejected and make you sit out the next game. Don't let this loss carry over into the next game.
Right.
So
they say 22.
Anthony Martinez.
Yeah.
Oh. So the flag was the first flag was on us as well. Sideline warning. Interesting.
Just to confirm that Cedar Park scorer was right. Chris Elquist checked it out. 82-0 over Anderson.
Well, things could always be worse. Although I'm sure the Anderson announcers were inside.
That's probably true. And off to Israel Morgan. Takes it up to the 35-yard line. Some Hutto fans getting a little upset at the extracurricular after the play on that one.
Yeah. It might be time for them to head home.
It's warmer there.
It's less frustrating, probably.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Second down and 6. 2:25 to go in the ball game. Hippos trailing 31-7. So Hippos will obviously fall to 1-1 in district play. And that makes next week's game against Stony Point really critical. Yeah, hand off to McCoy Gay. He's the kid who started all the bad news for the Hippos on the very first play of the game, and he gets the carry here late.
Well, and we're now under 2 minutes. I would expect that they'll probably just take a knee. In fact, they're actually taking Seth Ford out of the game. Looks like I don't know who, number 12, looks like Landon Schroeder is going to come in at quarterback. Probably to take a snap and take a knee.
So, again, the game next Saturday against Stony Point, of course, it was moved from Friday to Saturday. And originally the makeup time was noon next Saturday, but then that got changed yesterday to 7 o'clock. So Halloween night, 7 o'clock against Stony Point next Saturday night. And the reason for that, some folks have asked, why did that game get moved from noon to 7? Well, there's a UIL rule that says you have to wait 5 days between playing games. Stony Point is playing Monday night at 7 o'clock as a makeup of a game postponed due to COVID quarantine a couple of weeks ago. And then 5 days exactly from 7 o'clock Monday night is 7 o'clock Saturday. So that's why they had to move that one to 7 o'clock on Saturday.
So if that had been a week later and daylight savings was involved, could we have played at 6?
Interesting. Very interesting question.
I guess it wouldn't have gone through Saturday, but hypothetically. hypothetically, is it 120 hours or 5 days?
It's a really good question.
I'm sure that has never come up.
I would maybe put that on the list to ask Brad on at the coaches show just for fun on Monday night, but I'm not sure the coaches show is going to be fun Monday night.
Say, I don't know if we're going to be having a lot of fun on Monday.
No, Brad's always he's always great.
Yep.
He will be there Monday, and we'll talk about this game. We'll talk about the things that went wrong, and we'll
Another
talk about
penalty.
the things that talk about the things we can fix. And
oh my goodness, we need to throw a delay of game flag on the refs.
yeah, at this point it's 31-7. There's a minute left. It's about 20 degrees out here, or not really, but it's cold. Let's just keep the flags in your pocket and let's go home. Of course, Stony Point at this point I think probably has some backups getting some game time. And
Round Rock.
Stony Point, yeah, Round Rock. I'm already thinking ahead to Stony. I've forgotten Round Rock already. I'm already moved on.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. Well, this one's a very disappointing one for the Hippos. I think they came in knowing that this was a really pivotal game in terms of, even though it's still somewhat early, the playoff race out of 25-6A, and it just never got untracked. In fact, it all fell off the track right off the bat, and even at halftime down 21-7, but you're looking at it going, we're just as good as this team. But then you get the mistake early in the second half, and the field goal to put them up 24-7, and the Hippos just never could get their offense clicking. Defense, you look at the 31 on the board, and you're thinking the defense struggled, and in all honesty, 7 of that came on a snap over the punter's head in the end zone. 7 of it came on a pick six.
3 of it came off of
a field goal after a fumble down inside your 20-yard line.
And the other 14 came from 2 big plays.
Yeah, so really, I think the takeaway, the bright takeaway from this game is what the defense did. Defense played a great job as the clock ticks down and the final score is 31-7. Defense did a fantastic job, and Bryce, the offense just has to find some chemistry.
It's hard to even say what's going on. Hopefully J.J. Banks is close to coming back, because we could definitely use a little more electricity in that offense.
Yeah, it just there's and we say it. We've said it a number of times. The plays are there at times. It's just the execution's not. And there's still time. There's still time for these guys to get this figured out. There's still time for these guys to start making plays. And, kind of like we saw in the second half of that Waco game when it's like the switch was flipped. They could come out next week and the switch could be flipped, and they just need some positive things to happen now to develop some confidence going forward. I think we've seen enough of our defense now to know that I think our defense is going to be able to keep us in just about any game as long as the offense can find some ways to get some points on the board.
Yeah, well, there's the key right there.
Yeah.
And again, it starts with communication and catching the ball. I mean, that's been the issue all year, the issue tonight, and if you can't get that figured out, then we're in for a long 5 remaining games. But you get that figured out, and we got a real shot. I mean, we've got the players, we've got the athletes, like you said, we've got the defense, and
certainly have the coaches.
We got the coaching, so it's about execution at this point.
Well, join us Monday night for the coaches show. We will be at Rio Grande Patio. We have a good time there every Monday night. I want you to come out and join us. We do it at 6 o'clock. We have door prize drawings, giveaways, and we have a lot of fun. I'm not sure how much fun it'll be this Monday night, but it'll be interesting. We'll have Henry Gideon, our assistant superintendent of operations, will actually be there we'll talk to Coach Plan about this game. We'll talk about Stony Point coming up next week. But Henry Gideon will be there. Actually talk to us about future plans for stadium renovations, including a press box and some other things. So it'll be very interesting to hear what Henry has to say about that. And then, of course, we will be back on the air next Saturday night at 7 o'clock, not Friday night, Saturday night at 7 o'clock for the Hippos versus Stony Point. Final score tonight from Hutto Memorial Stadium on our peek out night was Round Rock 31, Hutto 7. For Gage Bowles doing the engineering, for Bryce Doggett on the sidelines, and Ryan Robinson standing next to me doing the color. I'm Todd Robinson. Have a great weekend, everybody.